Guy's a billionaire. All right, back over to Sharif. Sorry to get you in this mood, my guy. But it is Thursday tomorrow, and they play the New York Giants tomorrow night. So there we go, man. Can you make Daniel Jones look like a Pro Bowl quarterback or not? We will find out tomorrow as Malik Neighbors catches 9 balls for 120 and 2 on Sharif's Dallas Cowboy defense. So here we go. Oh, let's throw it over to Ezekiel Elliott and company.
Maybe 1 touchdown.
Now that we've been totally, whatever, it's okay. Welcome everybody to the Midday Show. That is Satay. That's not Adara, but we already met Satay. Thank you for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're very excited to have you back on. Obviously killed it last time. We're gonna do our little roll call as soon as people start coming in. We have some OGs already in the chat. Shout out to a proper Paradox and Matthew Booth coming out with a hell of an idea for my eggs. Shout out to you, Matthew. Thomas Kondo, as well as Robert. We got Pitchbull and Mateus Lane, as well as Jeremy Newman. Sharif's mom is in the chat. No, you don't. Gorev, my man, shout out to you. 9 to 5 grind joining us as well. So is Sebastian in the Skips 8. Eli 7721. I hope yeah, you're not representing Eli Manning or anything there. None of ya biz. We got Dan. We got Oliver Costaros, TH, Julie Beckwith, as well as Enjoy the Fun with Josie. I like that. Britt, Brandon, Picky Eater, Mary, S. Lyman, and Ari Pages, Stella 2020, Juan Alejandro Castillo. I know Chesney's going to Barcelona. Isn't that crazy? Love that. My man Zion Lala, Day Trader Cut, Charlie Young. We got Alton. We got Ron Heller, as well as Josh Aites, as well as Italian Honeybee. So good morning again, Taya. How's it going?
Good morning. It has been a good day, good trading day. How about you, Sharif?
Not too bad. Yeah, I start trading right now, but I heard a lot of people on the floor agreeing. That's obviously good for the office. I guess you're included. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so today I was going through a little bit of the Chinese names. So yesterday I read an article that the Chinese bank was cutting interest rates. And so I thought, that might be a little bit interesting for, Chinese-related stocks. So I had PDD in mind, BABA, NEO in mind as well. So took a trade on BABA. Unrelated, but also took a trade on NVIDIA, and so they ended up pretty well. You see these triangles over here, just above VWAP. Got in, got out. I'm a little bit sad about that. Didn't hold it for the whole move, but you know what? We're gonna tackle it soon.
I see top wick there. I don't know what you're seeing there on the left, but I saw top wick on the yellow. What is that on the left? That's your BABA.
BABA, yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
that looks real good.
It was
clean.
really good, but the thing is, I wish I held it a little bit longer. That's
Fair.
My only regret, but it turned out really well. So I can't hate too much.
Yeah, all right. Just can we make the charts a little bigger?
Yeah,
says
sure.
Fabian, because it's tough for people to see. But I want to ask you something. Do you subscribe to the theory that you're always angry as a trader? Either you don't have enough size, you never caught the top, you never got the bottom.
Always.
It's always that issue, right?
It's always, because the thing is, you're never always gonna have the right size that you want. You're always going to be angry. I try not to be too angry. I'm happy with the fact that I took the trade off of the pre-market high and kind of, going off of like VWAP and just taking those trades there. But you know what?
Those are some ads, too, on the way up. I really like that trading. You did not let that off the hook. So you added, took it out, added, took it out. That's excellent.
Exactly. And so, it is what it is.
All right, cool. All right, we'll see how you trade, obviously, live in living color. She's on today with us for 3 hours, Friday again. So if you like Satay and you like the way she trades, make sure to join us. Let's, though, start with the lesson du jour, Satay, so you get some time there to trade. All right, guys, we are talking about finding and adjusting price objectives within the context of reversal patterns. So we're talking right now how to figure out where to wet our beak on some profits and how to adjust the profit takers as new information comes to light, again, specifically within the context of reversal patterns. So let's get right to it. So to get a comprehensive understanding of how to determine these price objectives using reversal patterns and to explore adjustments based on additional additional technical factors. We'll also reference key insights from the CMT materials, Chartered Market Technician materials, obviously adding to what we've extracted from John J. Murphy's book, off which this lesson is based. So let's get right to it. As we always do, let's just introduce the topic. Price objectives essentially are critical components of technical analysis because they provide traders with a target level where the price of a security is likely to move either up or down after a breakout from a reversal pattern. So today we'll cover specifically, number one, the method for finding price objectives. Number two, how to adjust your price objectives using additional technical tools, and some of the insights that we don't typically see in regular TA out of the CMT materials. So let's get right to it, baby. Determining price objectives. This is the first topic, determining price objectives. So the key concept here is the height of the dang pattern. How many times have you seen me talk about measuring these patterns and projecting them up or down depending on whether we're breaking out or breaking down? So let's get right to it. Price objectives in reversal patterns are typically based on the height of the pattern. Let's take head and shoulders, for example. You measure the vertical distance from the top of the head to the neckline, right? So for example, if the head is at 100 and the neckline is at 80, the distance is what? 20, super easy. So upon breaking the neckline, you project that distance 20% up, or sorry, 20 points up, 20 points down, depending on what the formation of the pattern is. Is it a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders? Again, super operative here is the height, but it's not the only thing we're gonna base it off. So there it is. There's the head and shoulders pattern. You got your left shoulder, you got your right shoulder, but this guy needs to hit the gym because it's a bit of a asymmetrical right shoulder there. But as you can see, the neckline here is sloped upwards. So it's not going to give us that equidistant level from the neck to the bottom of the shoulder. So we got to do a bit of an incline. That doesn't change how we measure though. We're measuring from the top wick of the head to where it intersects with that neckline trend line right there. And then you're taking this distance right here as depicted by the green arrow, and you're simply projecting it down from the breakdown level. Not from wherever you want to project it from the breakdown level. So again, the breakdown level is going to be that key close below the neckline. And I love how this pattern here shows how the price came back retested, I should say, the trend line, this time not as support though, as resistance. So the height, as we've been talking about, super, super important when it comes to double tops, inverse head and shoulders, rounded bottoms. It doesn't matter, the height is super important. There is though an alternate method. This one is being proposed by John J. Murphy, and this one measures the length of the first wave of the decline and then you double it. That's it. So for example, if the first wave, let's just say from point C to point D is 15 points, just giving you any random number. All you're doing is doubling that 15, and the objective could be about a 30-point move downward. Let's talk also about the role of volatility in price adjustment. So the greater the height of the pattern, or the greater the volatility of the pattern, those two. So if you have really high patterns, really volatile patterns shown by zigging and zagging candles, the larger the price objective. So remember that these methods provide minimum targets, right? So the price can absolutely move beyond these price objectives. So what I'm trying to say to you is leave a piece for the dream. Some of the additions to this theory added by the Chartered Market Technician materials is that they emphasize logarithmic scaling for price movements in volatile markets, especially when they deal with large cap stocks. So it also notes the importance of price symmetry, which is essentially the size or magnitude of a price move in one direction. It often mirrors the subsequent move in the opposite direction. Here's what we're talking about. This is logarithmic scaling. So you obviously see a much greater distance between that $20 level and that $40 level than you see between the $80 level and the $100 level. The reason we do this is so that we can display the incline or decline of the price action over time, and being able to kind of see it without having to, switch down into a weekly or a monthly. We can see it on the daily, but the price here just a bit condensed or expanded depending on where in the chart you're looking at. So logarithmic scaling here for, ease of reference, visual reference. And this is kind of how it would look on a logarithmic scale, the bull flag, as opposed to how it would look on an arithmetic scale. So not one that I personally use, but one being suggested by the CMTs. And when we talk about price symmetry, this is what we're talking about. Like, look, this is the equidistant triangle, right? You're basically making moves down. And what it's trying to say is the move down or the move up is going to be met with an equally aggressive move up or down. So price symmetry, something that the CMT materials also stress here. But it's not the only way to basically gauge where to take your price objective, the height of the pattern. There are situations where we need to negate the height and account for other things. So let's talk about adjusting these price objectives. Support and resistance considerations here are super important. So it's important to adjust your price objective if there are key areas of support or resistance in close proximity to your calculated target. So for example, if a projected target for a downtrend is 62, right, but there's strong support at 64, you should be considering moving up your price objective from that 62, where the pattern height says you should be wetting your beak, and moving it up just a skosh into 64 to account for that key area of technical support or resistance. So if you're, again, just to really summarize this point, if there are key areas of established support and resistance that front run your price objective, you should be moving up your beak wetter, your profit taker, to account for that. There's also the Fibonacci retracement levels. I'm not going to give you guys any material on this one. In bear markets, so the textbooks say, it is common to see these retracement levels come into fib levels like that 38.2, that 50%, that 61.8. These retracement levels provide possible zones, right, where prices might pause or reverse. So you need to be accounting for that. So if you're measuring the height of the pattern, Fabian, and basically you're seeing that there is a key area of Fibonacci support, let's say 50%, you really need to be accounting for your profit taker to, take into consideration that fib 50% level. There's also reaction highs and lows, previous reaction highs and lows that could be operative. So pay attention to the previous action lows in a downtrend or reaction highs in an uptrend. These levels often serve as, minor support or resistance points that could impact the fulfillment of price objectives. So if you don't have what this is trying to say, if you don't have a very well-established area of technical support or resistance, but they're just flash support or resistance, account for them, but you don't base your trades off them like you would in the first instance of established support and resistance. Let's talk about some of the additions to this theory added by the CMT materials. The syllabus there adds that advanced concepts known as Fibonacci projections. We haven't actually talked about that in our week on fibs. I didn't even know about them till I read them yesterday. So in addition to retracements, projections help estimate the next likely price move, especially in the absence of historical data. What does that mean? Have we ever heard of a blue sky setup? Neil says it all the time. I say it all the time. Essentially, when we've never been this high before. So you have no resistance levels off which to chart. What do you do in that case? You can use these Fibonacci projections, and they basically gauge much higher levels. So it's particularly useful when the pattern breaks beyond existing support or resistance levels, forecasting a new price range using these extensions. Some of the more common percentage extensions are 127.2, 161.8. Yeah, I know, we're getting into kind of uncharted territories, but that's the way it works. And here we are. So basically the way to do it, super simple. You're using your fib tool and you're going to draw two different points. You're going to start from your swing low and then draw the line to your swing high and then drag it to your retracement level. That's where the software is going to base everything off. So you're going to have that 61.8%, that 100% move, 138.2, 161.8, like we were just talking about. So this, again, is a blue sky setup tool when you've never been at these levels in the past. There's also blending technical tools. This is really stressed here by John J. Murphy. He emphasizes the importance of blending multiple tools in TA, in technical analysis. Nothing we haven't heard. We always say, don't rely on one indicator, look for a confluence of others and get that checklist under your belt. So he goes on to say price targets from patterns are just one piece of the puzzle. You must consider other technical indicators like trend lines, moving averages, volume analysis, momentum indicators, and the like. Do not rely solely on the height projection of the pattern. You got to be looking at some other stuff. The CMT also takes a bit of a different approach here than John Jay, which is cool because it gives us more to talk about. The CMT program expands on this recommendation by actually recommending a combination of trend strength indicators like the ADX, which is, I believe, the average directional index, and some momentum oscillators that we've talked about in the past, like RSI and MACD, essentially to validate whether the price is likely to reach that objective. So the idea is that multiple confirmations from different tools provide higher confidence for your objective. So just to kind of give you a look here at what the ADX is, we haven't done a week on ADX, so I'm not going to wax poetic about it, but it's typically depicted on the bottom end of the price chart there, just like where you would have your RSI or MACD. And to conclude, price objectives are primarily derived from the height of the reversal patterns, but these objectives should be adjusted based on nearby support and resistance areas, fib retracement levels, as well as reaction high and lows. And effective TA, effective technical analysis, comes from combining these various tools like, pattern analysis, technical indicators, and market conditions. And the CMT curriculum certainly adds value here by emphasizing the importance of these more advanced techniques like logarithmic scaling, Fibonacci projections, and multi-time frame analysis. I tell ya.
Yes. So while Sharif was talking, I was trying to get into a trade. So I tried to get into NVIDIA at 124.80, put my stop loss at 124.43. Didn't work out, unfortunately. What I was thinking for this trade was I was trying to catch the breakout here. I thought that there would be a lot more momentum there, but got stopped out there. And hopefully, if we see this high at 124.78 or even 124.90 going into that 125, I would want to take another stab at it again. So we're going to see here. What else do we got here? What else are you guys looking at? NVAX. But other things that I was looking at is NVIDIA. Ford was also on my ticker list as well. This didn't really end up playing out as I thought it would. I thought that this would be a long if we could, go above this 1088 level. Just shot down. Another play of mine is the break of the pre-market low. So I could have taken it at 1059, but I was looking at other things. I was looking at NVIDIA, I was looking at BABA. So I didn't get the chance to look at this one, but this one looks like a really good setup as well. Tesla has also been a ticker that I was looking at. It looks ugly. Look at this chart. It's just chopping around. It's not really making a clear direction. So I don't really like that. So I'm just going to leave that on the side today. And so QQQs, I was also looking at that as well. I really like this break of the pre-market high. But again, I was looking at BABA. I was looking at NVIDIA. So didn't get the chance to look at that. I don't have 8 eyes, so I wish I did. But if I did, I would be looking at this as well. What else do we got here? And Micron. Micron was on our earnings today in the morning, I believe. Yeah, in the morning. And so, yeah, I really like this 94.74 level, breaking above at 949. Usually I like to take my trades after 10 a.m. Typically I find this is like a new trade setup and it gives me more confirmation as to if there's going to be a continuation. So I would have taken that as well. But those are some of the names I'm looking at. What are you looking at, Sharif?
I'm in Apple right now. I'm trying to defend 226 and it's not going my way. It was at VWAP, was at the whole dollar level. So I thought I'd give it the old college try here, Fabian, basically at 226. Looking for this one. I'm keeping my stop a little bit tight here, not going to take too much risk off. The jump with Apple, it's already negative, so this is a counter trend trade. Looking to get stopped out already here as it breaks down below 82s. But I am am looking at a couple of things. Small cap gappers are chief among them today because there's quite a few running, and we did quite well on them yesterday, so I'd like to be able to repeat some of that good stuff again. But here, I wanted to mention that I forget the individual's name. Alejandro Fontana wants me to look at Upstart. Says Upstart's moving up a storm here. So let's look at UPST. Oh yeah, it's big boy volume on the day. Nice move up. Pretty much trading at the high here is UPST. I don't know why this is moving. Let's look at quickly here at the news blotter. See if there's anything. Okay, so looks like Mizuho gave them the nod today. Mizuho maintaining Upstart with outperform coverage and boosting the price target to $48. So that implies a nice little premium from where we're trading. 41.70 right now is the high of the day. So good look for Upstart, man. A lot of respect here for the 10 exponential on the 5. No real big down moves. This is the only time we've really broken through the 10 exponential since the opening range at 9:30. Let me throw in the ticker. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot you guys can't see my tickers. UPST 41.70. Let's go back a little bit here, do some charting, find out where to expect some resistance. Well, there was a very similar high that we encountered on September 19th. That took us to the high of 41.49. We're already above that right now, but we're actually printing 41.49 as we speak. So despite the fact that we took out that top, is it only just, momentary? Do we retrace off here? I'd like to see us take 42. If we clear 42, Alejandro, I think that we do have a real shot here at touching this 45.50, which is the level that we got to at the end of August. August 29th, it looks like we were last up there. But good little uptrend for Upstart essentially since the middle of the month, and it's been putting in higher highs and higher lows. Yes, I did get stopped out of Apple as it did not hold that $226 area. There is some price action support at this area, 225 and 2/3 from the pre. It is on lower volume. Essentially, this is the area I'm looking at right here. I could jump in and give this one the old call try, but we're already 0 for 1 on it. So just gonna pack my patience and keep an eye on these small cap gappers. But you know that we got that Meta Connect event that we're going to cover today at 1. It's on our show.
Awesome.
So Meta super in play at 1.
Tune in.
Yes. Stay with us.
Yes.
Stay with us.
Have to.
So Meta, definitely going to keep my eye on that. Are you about that AR glasses life, or you're not about that?
I haven't tried it. I already have my specs on, so I don't know.
Imagine you could see like visuals, Satea. It wouldn't just be like regular old boring life. You could superimpose whatever you wanted to on there.
Imagine trading on that though.
Can you imagine?
That'd be wild.
There was some comments. I'm not going to repeat them because they're not PG for the show. Okay. But there were some comments about what industries would benefit from these AR glasses.
We know,
I think you
we
could
know.
get exactly. We know exactly what we're talking about there. So good times. Yeah, so definitely make sure, Fabian, come on, oh, that's Ram. Okay, Ram. Yeah, no, because like Fabian wouldn't fail. But yeah, shout out to Ram. So yeah, make sure to be with us at 1, guys, because Meta I thought it was going to be a sell the news event. Maybe it still is. Maybe after Zuck comes on, drops hot lines during the keynote, we sell off. Who knows? But Meta's been a monster lately. Up 1.25 today, Satea, and it's like at all-time highs essentially. So good luck.
Awesome.
What are you looking at over there?
So someone said AMD in the chat, and I really like that. It's breaking through day's high at this 161.17. So I really like that. If we can stay above that and just consolidate, not breaking too much down, I would say that we have a good, we have a good chance of getting to this 163.06, 163, let's just say. And yeah, I really like that AMD. You also made me look at Meta, so I'm looking at that. I really love this one as well. I call it my VWAP floor. It is breaking, it broke above this 568.98. And so if we can hold above that, I really like that because we haven't broken through this VWAP. Like it touches VWAP and it just goes bang, bang, bang. And it just touches it and then it goes up. So I'm thinking that, 570 to this 572.84 around that day's high, I definitely think that we could get up there. So let's get up, let's get up, let's get up there. Girl. And so, yeah, that's what I think is a really good right now. Meta and AMD, they're looking pretty good. They look like they're treating the people well. So I like that. What else? What else are you guys looking at?
Just gonna do a quick ad read.
Yeah, ad read.
Cool. All right, guys, are you tired of being late to the trade? Are you always playing catch up in this market? Are you missing out on the big moves because you're just too slow to the news? If so, Benzinga Pro is your unfair advantage. Get those breaking news alerts up to 30 minutes before everyone else and pinpoint exactly why stocks are moving. And yes, join a thriving community of traders who share their strategies in real time. Are you ready to see how Benzinga Pro can transform your trading? If so, visit benzinga.com/pro and get yourself that free 14-day trial. All right, sorry to interrupt you, Sid. Do you have anything to say, or do you want me to move on?
Yeah, go on.
All right, so I'm going to talk about these small cap gappers over here because we've got quite a few of them on tap. Hopefully they stay active and don't give up the ghost. The first one that I put on the top left there, kind of giving up the ghost as we speak, breaking down below VWAP, is SBC. Just by looking at how the price action is moving right now in SPC, I can tell you it's already spready. I don't even need to load up the level 2. The fact that it's jumping from 52 to 63 down to 47 means it's spready as a storm, baby. So I'm not going to touch this one, and you do not want these small cap gappers being awfully spready. Look at that. It just bounced up into 1015 after printing 920 something, and now it's back down to 946. So awfully spready, awfully dangerous to trade, especially just getting in and out with the scalping. So tough on that one. I'm going to stay away from that one. This one looks good though. CAPR. So this one looks like it was moving yesterday, and it looks like it was moving the day prior as well. So this is a multi-day runner. I think today's the first day I've had eyes on it, despite the fact that it looked awfully good yesterday. It holds all of yesterday's highs, prints new highs. Now we're knocking on the door of that 12.25 to break through there. Let's zoom out a little bit over here and have a look at what the levels on this one have been. If the chart wants to load, it is not loading, so we're gonna have to pack our patience. But CAPR certainly in play. Let's see what else is in play while CAPR loads. It's on its merry way. Yeah, there it is, and there it's gone again, ram. So too bad for me. This one, QH, a holdover from yesterday. I just left it up on the chart. We just took out yesterday's high at $1.60. This one's not going to give you much in the way of notional, but it's very directional. So if you do size into this, could be an opportunity. You saw the big boys looking at DraftKings on the day, and I'm going to keep looking at DraftKings as well because it's moving up real nice, doing the dance right now a little bit below the volume weighted average price. So we'll see if it can reclaim that level. That's also in play for me. Mara, the Mara indicator is back. He is not behind me at the moment, but he is in the office. MARA having itself a hell of a day, guys. Looking to go through 17. It hasn't been above 17 in a hot minute. In case you guys don't know, Satea started out her trading career as a crypto trader. So if you guys got some crypto stuff, you know I'm completely not well versed in that, but she is a lot better than me. So throw your stuff to her in the chat. Let her answer your questions. She started off with ETH, but she knows her stuff. So tag Satea if you guys want any crypto stuff there in the chat. And just to finish off here, Satea, Poet is the other one I was looking at. I looked over to Neil. I'm like, Neil, Poet's going. And then Sean scuffled. He's like, we got bigger fish to fry today, boy. Don't worry about Poet and you and your little, go wax poetic somewhere else. No, but it's having an inside day, POET, certainly, but doing, a decent job here of respecting these moving averages. It looks like it is finding some support off the 20 at times. So we'll see if we can weasel into some of these small cap trades today.
Awesome. So I have been looking at Intel right now. I was actually looking at this on Monday, and I wish that this was the move that happened on Monday. So from the beginning, in the morning, 22.85, we rip, and we get up all the way to this 24.06. And so, wow, that's amazing. That is a crazy move. Just like you could have got in at $22.87, you could have got in at $23, and you probably wouldn't have been out of the money for more than a couple of seconds. So that is insane. But it is coming down now. We are breaking through this consolidation here. So I don't really know. It's also breaking below this VWAP. So I'm not really sure. If we break down here from this 23.65, we probably could come down to 23.40 and maybe even down to this 23. So I don't really like this for the continuation of the long, but if we can hold up and get above this VWAP again, hold this 2370 and just consolidate, then this looks like a clear sky setup to me. But as of right now, it's kind of breaking down a little bit. So Intel, why did you do this to me? Why? So what are you guys looking at right now? I am interested what you got here. So ETH, yes. There's ETH. So am I okay to cover ETH? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
absolutely.
awesome.
She's being added. Yeah, everything's good. She set it up from last time, Fabian.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, looking at this ETH, right now we are below VWAP as well. We're at this 2,614.30 mark. Not looking too great in terms of the daily chart. Let's just see here. So what I like to do is I usually like to put my trend lines here, support and resistance. So we got this resistance here at 2,704. And then we also have this support here at 2,588. So it's bouncing off. It probably will come down here. If we break below this 2,588, well, maybe, honestly, we might find us hitting this 2,500. But you know what? Consolidate, down, break. That is what I'm looking at. What else? What equities are you guys looking at? We got MSTR. We got Microsoft. What are you looking at Microsoft? Microsoft here. Ooh, Microsoft is looking. It's
I was
choppy.
just looking at that, but
Really?
it's at highs.
Yeah, it's
Have
at
you noticed?
highs.
It's like stronger than the rest right now.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. There probably could be some resistance here. If we draw this trend line here, I'm thinking that, this 432 could probably be a point of resistance. So looking pretty ugly there. But what I could probably see is getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down. I could just feel it just hitting through these trend lines and just trending up that way. But it doesn't really look like a great day trade, to be honest. Just more choppy, trending up, but chopping. So more, I would say, if you're long-term investing, maybe that would be a play. But day trading, looks a little mediocre there.
All right, I'll cover for a second. Guys, CAPR is having all sorts of issues with 12, so I've been scalping this while Satya was dropping hot lines about Ethereum. I got in at about 80, took it out at 12, looking to add again here to defend the $0.25. There is support. Here we go. I think I'm going to get filled. There it is. Let's see now what happens. I'm looking to defend the $0.33. Let's look to wet our beak and scalp quickly while this one's a bit of a spready one too. So I'm a little concerned about this. Sometimes the spread on the $11 name is opening up a little bit more than I like. I'm bang, there we take it again. So 2 for 2 on this one. Let's see if we can do a little bit more. I fat fingered the first exit. So this out over here, I took out the entire position because I suck. And I couldn't do as well as I wanted to on this one. Now let's see if we can defend that $12 again. Going to look to front run it with a bit of a beak wetter in front of 12. Can we get it? And we get it again. Yeah, sorry, I'm really excited. Can you tell us, Satya? Yo, if you don't bring the energy, I'm like, why are we here, right? So I love trading these small cap gappers, man. It is small cap gapper season. I won't be convinced otherwise. These bad boys continue to run. We get some midday. They don't only show up in the pre. You don't have to get up at 5 o'clock to trade these bad boys and get around that halt parameter. They are running midday as well. CAPR. I didn't give anybody the deets. I just noticed on CAPR. So let's go. It's not, the smallest small cap gapper we've ever seen, guys. About $390 million market cap. It's done a fair amount of volume on the day. 18.5 million shares traded. The float's respectable, but not tiny. 29.1 million shares. And let's shout out the NOS boss and his boys over there at Trade Ideas and have a look at the float. Okay, so this one, I'm getting a bit of a larger float, about 31 million shares, but look at this, guys. This is the operative number. Almost 25% of those 30 million shares are being borrowed for short. I love that because that means we can go parabolic. So we'll see exactly where or if we get parabolic. But yes, 1 second. Let me just do a little bit of charting over here to see where the daily has been on CAPR, but the daily has been making me wait for a hot minute, so I'm just gonna do the ad read because Fabian will get upset if I don't do it. So we're gonna do that real quick over here. We got VinFast, baby. VinFast, Vietnam's leading electric vehicle manufacturer, has announced its Q2 2024 financial results. Deliveries surged by 44% quarter over quarter, with 13,172 EVs delivered, bringing the first half total to over 22,000. That's a 101% increase year over year. Wow. Q2 revenue climbed to $357 million, up 33% quarter over quarter. VinFast's success in Vietnam is pivotal, driven by rising EV adoption. With global expansion and new models like the VF3, VinFast aims to deliver 80,000 vehicles in 2024, maintaining its commitment to sustainable mobility. So we're going to shout out the good folks there at VinFast. And I was actually looking at this one with Brendo in the morning, and that VF9, man, is a looker. I don't know if you've had opportunity to go to Yorkdale, because they got a store at Yorkdale.
I haven't been to Yorkdale in a bit, to be honest.
Okay.
But on a side note, I actually just got my license.
Ooh.
Yes, I got it last Friday, so hopefully I'll be looking for a car soon. Maybe like a Tesla, maybe one of those.
I like it. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I'm not making any suggestions. Have a good look at that.
Yeah, for sure. I will.
You know, it's a nice looker. Make suggestions, says Neil. Just stick to it, says Neil. Yeah, I don't like to impose my opinions, Neil. You know, I gotta let the woman decide for what she wants, obviously.
Fair enough.
CAPR, this is a respectable looking daily chart, Fabian. Wouldn't you say so? I mean, this is a breakout, baby. Oh, baby. This is 3 days of big boy movement on CAPR. Okay, so I gotta say something here. The 25% short float that I just waxed poetic about on CAPR could be fundamentally different now. Now we know the short float is about 14 days lagging, 2 weeks, give or take, okay? In the last 3 days on CAPR, we have moved 150%. I'm willing to assume that a lot of short sellers have been pushed out in this latest 150% pump. What does this all mean? Well, essentially means that 25% could be far, far less, because people have been pushed out of their positions they've been forced to cover. I'm not saying that that's the case, just maybe some guesses, I guess educated guesses is what I'm trying to say here. So CAPR, definitely a larger short float, but knowing that that data is delayed could, bamboozle us somewhat. Nonetheless, it's looking good here. I want to see if it can clear 12 on a closing basis. If it does, I'll look for it to come and test 12, and we'll take it long again. We're getting all sorts of dark pool prints on CAPR, which usually means there is institutional, I don't want to say involvement, but action behind the scenes here, because that's who uses dark pools, institutions, and we're getting dark pool prints, which obviously are not reflected currently. They took place prior, but they show up on the time and sales whenever they want, really, or if I don't know the rules behind them. In any event, this shows me that there could be some institutional interest in CAPR. What's your look over there?
So I'm looking at two things. I asked the chat, what are you guys looking at? And someone said SPY. And so there is, it's not doing too much. I am seeing this 570 support, and I'm also seeing this 571 resistance. So moving about $1 on the day, nothing too crazy. I would say that if we could break, I want a decided move. If we could break below 570, I would say looking like a short, breaking below this pre-market low. If we are going to go above this 571, then I would say that this would look like a nice long. But right now, there is no volume, just chopping, just churning, not too much going on there. But one thing that looks really exciting, it was on my trending ticker list, was Rocket Labs. So this actually looks really interesting. It moved up. It broke through this pre-market high, and so it moved from 770 all the way up to 863, looking nice, looking great. This 855, this 65 is looking like a point of resistance though, but as long as that we could hold above this VWAP 830, then I would say that this looks pretty good. I would just like to see more volume. What's the RVOL looking at? 3.38 in RVOL, so looking pretty decent, ascending upwards, so I really like that as well. So yeah, that's what I'm really looking at as of right now. I would love to see more volume. Let's just see here. So yeah, so that is what I'm looking at right now.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was just looking over to Neil because there's a lot of stuff, larger cap squeezing as well. Softy just got to 433. This is kind of crazy here on Softy. This is one big boy flat top breakout, ascending wedge. As you can see, higher lows all throughout, but there was a bit of a flat top in and around 431.50. I know the IB high takes us to 2/3. That was the candle that printed at 935. So the implied balance high, 431.68. But look where the closing prints are, all at the 50 penny level. Respective of that, we get higher low, higher low, higher low, respecting the 20 exponential, and then boom, quick as you like, squeeze through 431. Now we're knocking on the door. In fact, we did already knock on the door of 433. We'll have to see if we can get going. But look, I mean, this is not the best we've done. We were higher than this yesterday. We were higher than this the day before. So the high of the day on Softy yesterday, the IB high from yesterday, takes us to 433.75. And there goes 433. This thing is squeezing, and I don't know why. I just know that there was a complaint filed by Google against Microsoft today in the EU for anti-competitive practices. Doesn't seem to matter to this market one bit. The thing's printing highs. Now, above that 433 3/4, we've got the previous day's high with which to contend. That takes us all the way up into 436.5. Something tells me we likely don't make that high today. Topping tail candle coming in right now on the soft one. Look at that. That is ugly. Prints 433.12. It's down to 432.70. Let's see what this candle does. Just because it's showing what it's this pattern right or this look right now doesn't mean it closes out that way. Doesn't mean the subsequent candle doesn't make a new high. Lots of zig and zag right now. I didn't expect big boy selling to come in at that 433. I was anticipating something along the lines of the $250 level to take advantage of that IB implied balance high from yesterday. But Microsoft is moving up a storm. Also, Neil was just telling me that AMD was breaking through highs as NVIDIA was at the volume weighted average price. So this is the look right now on AMD, basically consolidating a little bit below 162. Sure, you have this candle over here at 35 after the hour that wicks into the $250, but you do not have a closing print north of 462. Sorry for these moving averages here. They're convoluted. They're not right. This is kind of a tab that I don't use all that much. I will load up AMD on this screen instead because this one will give me a better look and I'll be able to use my indicators a little bit better on it. 5-minute look here. There we go. Okay, so the 10 exponential sitting at 161.40. But the better level for me in the range that I think we've been established in this $50 range, 161.50 seems to be the low end of this bull flag, and that obviously 162 and change, the higher end. You also have support at 161 owing to this area crest here in the 10 o'clock to 10:30. Let's say time slot, so 161 could also be an interesting level of retracement, a former area of resistance, looking for it to be support this time. AMD having itself a big boy day with most of the microchips. Very, very few semis, chips in Redsville today. I'll tell you the ones that are. SMCI down a third. Broadcom, AVGO, essentially flat, down 0.07. And the other ones you guys probably don't know too much except Marvell. Marvell's down 0.5%. Everything else, including Intel, Micron, ARM, AMD, TSM, ASML, AMAC, QCOM, everything in Greensville right now in the chip world. So good luck for them, Satya.
Awesome. So someone said Starbucks in the chat, and I took a look at this, and this looks really great. So I was looking at the previous day high, and it's breaking through that previous day high at 95.81. So that looks pretty good. I would want to see what the ATR, what is the ATR on Starbucks? So I'm going to go here on FinViz, Starbucks. Look at the ATR here. So it's usually $2.22. 94. So I would say that we could get to 96 pretty comfortably. but we're reaching that high. And so I'd really want to see what it does at this $96 level. If we just wick at that 96 and retrace down, then I don't really like that, to be honest. Like I said, I would like to see this consolidation here, but it's kind of looking like for the day, it does look a little topping there. So I would say it looks great. Looked like if you got in early, then you were printing, you were making that moolah, you were making that money. But as of right now, if you're trying to catch the move and just jump on the train, then I don't know. That looks pretty ugly. So, but I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm not a fortune teller, but we'll see. What else are we looking at here?
Stop, Ram.
Ram? What is
Ram's a menace to society, bro.
What is she saying back? But what else do we look here? What else?
It's Fabian.
Meta was doing pretty good, but right now it's just consolidating right now from this 572.40, retracing back to VWAP. So, you know, it doesn't look too ugly. It's just bouncing off that VWAP still, but in terms of volume, we'd want to see more volume coming in there. What else are we looking at? I was also looking at NEO. NEO still not doing too much. Not doing too much there, no. DraftKings was also another thing on my trending ticker list. I mean, I don't know what they're really talking about here. I guess the volume is there, but it just looks very choppy. So that does not look very great either. Between this 40.22 and this 41.29, not really doing much there. PDD was also on my watch list as well, trending up here.
Oh, NVIDIA VWAP.
NVIDIA VWAP. Let's see.
Your VWAP, what do you call it again?
VWAP floor.
VWAP floor.
Yes. So yeah, it's coming in hot to this VWAP. I do want to see some consolidation. If it just breaks through this 123.50, then I don't know. It's not looking like a VWAP floor, because with my VWAP floor trade, I want to make sure that it holds, like it's a floor, so it shouldn't go through. But then if it breaks through this VWAP, then what I usually call it is a VWAP ceiling. And usually that's when I initiate.
Love it.
Yeah, I usually initiate a short from there. And so I would risk above VWAP just because I feel like if it goes above VWAP, then, you know, my trade is wrong for the short. But if we could stay above VWAP, I'm still looking long. But again, if it breaks through this VWAP, I'm looking short, risking above, maybe 123.68, maybe 124.17, if you're trying to give it a lot more room. But I like to keep the risk a little bit tight. But let's just see what we do around here. And I'm going to bring it back to Sharif.
All
what
right.
Are you looking at?
I'm in CAPR again, Cite to defend 12, but I got to tell you, there's about 5,000 lots, maybe a bit more hanging out at 15s. We've ascended a few times to 14s, never able to breach that level vis-a-vis this big boy seller waiting here at said 15. So I'm looking to defend 12. There's some good buying coming in here right now on CAPR, but we're gonna give this one not too much room. We're gonna have to defend that 90 penny level. Sorry, not defend. We're gonna look to get out, stopped out if it breaks 90 pennies. There was all sorts of support at 90 pennies earlier. If it doesn't hold, I want no smoke. By the way, Softy, nice topping tail candle, big hammer, well, not hammer, big red candle after that, but look where it's holding up. Oh baby, the 10 exponential having that magnetic effect that the OB, he is the one that Knob talks about all the time, where, you know, the price seems to have this magnetic attraction to these moving averages only to find support or resistance, depending on which way you're looking at that level. So Softy coming in almost to the dang T at the 10 exponential bouncing up, but let's not put too much stock into one candle. Let's see what this one can give us. Back to CAPR. Here's the seller where I'm talking about, sitting here at 15s. You're not able to see the other 2,386 shares. I'm assuming that this is the same seller because the quantum of shares being posted on two different gateways is too similar for them to be not the same seller. And I talked about this, about how Bookmap and other software try to make guesses, educated guesses, that different people are moving their orders on different gateways through different price levels to reflect the price action. And so this one is not able to show you, I'm not able to show you quite yet because it's got to get closer to 15, but trust me, there's another seller, not just on EXB, of the same size or similar size to 2,386 lots. I said shares, I was incorrect. Those are lots. So I'm waiting to see, number one, can we take out that seller? Number two, is that the only amount of shares there, or is there a big boy iceberg that I don't know about as well at that level? So we're in the money on it now, but not by much, and it's gonna have to defend 12, otherwise I want zero, or not 12, 1190, excuse me. Otherwise, I want no smoke. Keeping an eye on Microsoft, keeping an eye on Tesla as well as it gets into the higher end of the range, and keeping an eye on NVIDIA because it is at the volume weighted average price. I see you, Adam. Adam saying, you know, focus on NVIDIA. Absolutely could not agree more with that. Keeping an eye on the side charts there on NVDA. I'm also cognizant that the Amazon is coming into that LOD. That is 192.50. Technically on the day it printed 46s, but in my humble estimation, it is that 50 penny level that will act, if it acts, as support. So we're awfully close, printing 57s right now. Softy looking real ugly here, similar to Apple, but I would submit to you, Softy uglier than Apple right now because it's near lows. Satya.
Awesome. So someone said Visa in the chat. So this is looking pretty bearish. We rejected in the morning off this 274.20. Haven't retraced up there at all. And as it hits VWAP, it just hits VWAP, bang down. Hits VWAP, bang down. So this is what I would categorize as my VWAP ceiling. So we have that ceiling there, and as it approaches VWAP, then it just bangs down from there. And so I would say that if you are initiating a short, I would say a nice short here would probably be around this 270 mark, wait for it to get to VWAP, and then hopefully break down, continuing down. Another thing that I was looking at, AMD. AMD, we love it. So it's approaching this high, and it broke through this high, and then it's consolidating. I really like to see that as well. I could see it retracing down to this 161.18, maybe, you know, consolidating a little bit there, and then on the way up. But it's looking pretty good, looking pretty clear skies up there. And then another thing that I was looking at is Rocket Labs. So this is really nice as well. This is approaching 859. And so it's also, so it rejected off this 865, and so that was day's high. Retraced down, hit VWAP at this 825, and then it's just truckling up like a little train. It's just going up, but up, but up. And so it's doing that. And so hopefully if we could break through this 860, this looks really nice as well. I would look at the ATR just to see how much wiggle room we do have for the day, but it's looking pretty bullish for a longer term, looking pretty bullish as well. So I really like that. What else do we got here? NVIDIA. Ooh, NVIDIA, what are you doing? You were supposed to hold VWAP. What is this? What is this? So I don't really like that, to be honest. I would really like to see, let's just switch on to the hourly to see where it might go. Ugh,
What
that looks nasty. Let's just look on the 30-minute. Yeah, it just doesn't look too great. I would say, you know, we have to see what we do at 123, then 122. And if we break that 122, then maybe we might see 120. But I don't know, it's still around this VWAP, so still not a clear indication of whether it's going to be like a full move down, but it's not looking too great as of right now. So, join Tesla. Tesla, what is that looking like right now? Tesla still not really doing much, to be honest. Like, it's just chopping, it's just churning. No clear direction here. We have this top at 250. 650, and then we have this support here around 253.30. So still not much action going on. We really want to see volume. If you're a day trader, you want to see volume coming in, and we are not seeing that at all. So we're on to the next.
Like it.
Yep. And so what are you looking at? I see you zooming in there. What are you?
The dark pools, Satya, the dark pools.
Oh, they got you.
They get everybody, man. Like,
man.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to adjust that on Softy, but I'm still in CAPR. I'm still watching that monster seller at 15. Here we go, a little bit closer to 15s. I really like to be able to show you the double post on different gateways, but we got to get closer to that 15 penny print. I'd say we're defending 12 well, but I'm going to stress what I always say. But there it is. Look, 2390, 2390, one on EXB, one on EdgeX. Tell me that ain't the same seller, bruh. Like, that's gotta be, right? And this is what I'm trying to show you guys, this bad boy right here. So looks like there is some a bigger seller at that level that's preventing us from ascending. I have a bit of a lofty goal or price target, excuse me, beak wetter to test that high a day. This high a day breach here at 1118 was a quick wham bam. Thank you, CAPR, and right back down it went to range between 12 and 1210. I'm trying to take advantage of this range, and the breakout, it's looking awfully bull flaggish at the moment, but you know, again, the bottom can drop off these bad boys at any time without warning. That's the nature of small cap gappers. You don't like them, you don't like that, don't trade them, but that is part of their DNA. So I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm also keeping an eye on Softy because now we have 3 uninterrupted red candles right now on the 5-minute chart, and they're also coming in to the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute. And why do I care about that level on Softy? Well, look, have a look over here. We were very respectful of the 20 exponential on the way up. I don't need to be first. As my friend Neil likes to say, I can get this on the back end. There's plenty of room based on where it's trading right now for me to weasel my way back up into 433. So Softy certainly on watch right now as it weasels its way down to 431.5, which is, again, the 20 exponential moving average on the 5. Back to CAPR, still unable to take out that seller at 12.15. And, you know, there's really no point in me wetting my beak at all here. We're talking about pennies that make no sense. What's going on over there, Katina, man?
I mean, we came back. We're still short Amazon.
The Katina, I was yelling about Amazon while you were gone. It printed low of days and it printed a new low day. The Katina, man, is still short Amazon 193 flat. So shout out to him. Did you do a walk and talk? Yeah, I like it. So the walk and talk has been posted. Get on to the gram. Get on to X. I was about to say Twitter. Messed up there. Sorry, Elon. Yeah, get on to X, yeah. And listen to that walk and talk. I love when the Katina man drops walks and talks because he's just dropping hotlines.
For sure.
What are you looking at?
So right now I am looking at NVIDIA. So usually what I like to do is I like to look at the QQQs as kind of a leading indicator as to what NVIDIA might do. So because the QQQs are breaking down through this VWAP and NVIDIA is also kind of following suit, oh, it's retracing 485.62. I don't know, it's showing me kind of contradicting things. But what I am looking at here is it looks bearish to me as of right now, with the VWAP just retracing from there. And so if the QQQs can continue to break down here, I also think that NVIDIA will follow suit and also break down with it. So I'm just gonna look at what the QQQs are, and whatever the QQQs do, NVIDIA will do, right? I don't know, who knows, but that's what I think.
Fabian.
And so, yeah, and so that's what I'm looking at as of right now. Another thing that I am looking at is Rocket Labs. Ooh, this Rocket Labs, it is not slowing down. It's just going, geez, to the moon. And so it just keeps trending up, and it's great. Look at that trend line that I drew, draw, I don't know. But
you got it.
It just did not break that trend line here. So as long as we could just follow that, it might come down a little bit, 860, but as of right now, it's just trending up, breaking highs, and yeah, I like to see that. So another thing is, what else are SMCI running strong? SMCI, what is this looking at? So, ooh, SMCI, this is looking pretty bearish. Right now though, so you see this candle? This is looking like a nice rejection here. So if you were going long, I would say that you could risk, you know, off of this 459.29. But I would say that if we break this 459.29, then I'd still think that we are going to continue with this bearish trend. So I'm just going to draw that trend line there, looking, and it's just, it comes up to this trend line, breaks down. And so if we could break this trend line, who knows? You know, things might go up in the short term, 461 to around 469. I could see it going up, you know, through there. But as of right now, still looking pretty bearish. What are you looking at, Sharif?
We got the print. We got the print, man. Pumped about this. Yes, CAPR, we get the break of 1210. I took a bit of bigger position on this one. We defended 12. 12 kept showing you that there was a big boy dang buyer. Took the first out at 15, second out at a quarter, the third beak wetter at 35. I'm happy with this trade. I probably will be angry in a second because it's going to continue to run. And then I'm going to tell you how badly I did on it. So CAPR certainly in play, baby. Small cap gapper season. I will not be convinced otherwise. Breaking through. Here comes 50 pennies. So this one took out that seller like he didn't even matter, or they didn't even matter at 12.15, and that had been in place for a while there. So that person gets taken out, and it looks like we are on the way up. But I did get, sadly, stopped out of my position on the soft one here. I was trying to defend the 20 exponential. It had been showing me some respect for the 20 exponential Microsoft, and it was directional, was strong, this, that, and the other. I got stopped out. Sadly, I suck. I tried to take this 20 exponential. We were talking about how this level was being defended, but yeah, it's got to give it up at some point over here. So Softy up 0.51, but the fuge, as you can see, as Stay was pointing out, look, we have been putting in these lower lows, lower highs, or in a bit of a downward channel, essentially since, what time was that, 10:15 or so, we started putting in those lower lows and lower highs. I think 10:15 is 10:15 is actually when we put in the high, 20,000 to 271. So mistake by me on MSFT. I'll look to do better next time. I'm still going to keep my eye on it because a quick wick breach of the 20 doesn't change my mind entirely, but I don't want to get cut up on it, right? So I'm going to continue to watch. Now 4 red candles in a row on MSFT on the 5-minute chart. So looks like it's retracing. Now, if it's not the 20 on Microsoft, I'll be looking at 431. It's increasingly looking like it's not going to be the 20 exponential as newer lows come in as I speak. The volume weighted average price on MSFT is in and around that 431 area. It's also been respectful of the volume weighted average price. So yeah, we're going to give this one a try. I'm going to, in fact, put an alert at the VWAP. I sound like Obi, the VWAP. Essentially a little bit below 431. So that's what I'm looking at there. 041 on Softy here, but we'll look to do a little bit better. Tyler, ATX, Sharif. Looks like the next major resistance on CAPR is 23,000 shares at 12.50, then 24,000 shares at essentially 13. Yes, you are right, but look what CAPR is doing, my friend. These dang things are around for a good time. They are not around for a long time. Have a plan with these ones and have some resting orders, guys, because, you know, you could be looking at it 1 second, it could be printing highs, and then you look at it the next and it's doing this. But we are now going to stop talking about these small cap gappers, and we're going to send you over to the hotline dropper himself. It's Neil's lesson of the day.
Awesome.
Welcome. Lesson of the day brought to you by Firefly Neurosciences. They are revolutionizing brain health by making its FDA cleared brain network analytics technology available to medical professionals in support of providing better outcomes for patients with brain health disorders and illnesses like depression, dementia, anxiety, concussion, and ADHD. The company's proprietary technology is built on extensive research and the world's largest standardized database of over 17,000 patients across 12 disorders, including clinically normal people. Shout out to Firefly Neurosciences. Neuro health is certainly important. Brain health, very important. If you're actually looking at patterns, I feel like today had an interesting one. I ran track, in high school as a track and field athlete, university. I ran track. One of my favorite event, actually, 100% my favorite event was always the relay, because I feel like it's the one time when you were running where it's a very personal sport, kind of like trading. You're just sort of doing it yourself. You're grading against yourself. You're trying to do the best you can. What you do doesn't necessarily affect anybody. In the relay, it's a totally different story. You got to get that baton around. And what's interesting is a pattern like that emerged here in the market, where it was almost as if in this bull run today, you were passing the baton along. And we've seen this before with the meme names. I feel like the last time there was a discussion similar to this, it had to do with some of the meme stocks going, and you'd go from one to the other, or it'd be small caps, and this runner's going, and when it pulls back, then the next stock then finds its way. Well, today, something like that happened in the semiconductors, and I want to show you, if you're ever watching an entire group, this can be a good opportunity for some continuation plays. Now, I'm going to start with NVIDIA because this is where it all started. NVIDIA, big move yesterday, no questions asked. You had a bit of a double top just underneath 122 and then like a clean 122 top for NVIDIA. So it was absolutely screaming. It didn't run into, I'd say, major resistance. I trailed out 123.5 here, but I'd say major resistance didn't come till it got to $125. So it's about in here, first at about 10 o'clock and then again right in here about 10:24 where it starts to find some resistance. This dip back was about 9:51. Now, when it started to get into these levels, it was clearly the strongest move at that particular point, right? Like it had gone over a point to the upside. And then something interesting happened. That first move, essentially right when I trailed out, the first dip in NVIDIA was right around that same time, just before 10 o'clock, that Intel took off. And that second move up, like first move from 930, biggest percent move was going to be NVIDIA. At that point on, from 9:54 on, Intel took the baton on the next leg, and it decided to have the big move. So it went 23.30 all the way into 24 even. So it went a 3% move to the upside. It runs into a little bit of resistance up top here just after 10 o'clock. Now remember, just after 10 o'clock, NVIDIA was making its next high. There's your pullback. There's another dip here about 10:40. So double top here on Intel, and all of a sudden, the next one started going. And it's going to be AMD. So right when you were failing a top on Intel, all of a sudden AMD, which was still in an upward trend, it decides just after 11 that it wants to break out, and it starts going to the upside. And then it's the big mover. So you have 1, 2, 3, back to back to back, NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, where you find a definite high or at least a little bit of a pullback, and the next one takes off for the bigger move. Now, they're all in an upward trend. There's no question they were all in an upward trend. But notice here, when I go back and look at, we'll look at the NVIDIA chart. I'm just going to pull it up on the black chart so you guys can sort of see this. All of a sudden, like, which one's holding on? NVIDIA, first to go, consolidating under VWAP. Intel, which was second to go, it's under VWAP consolidating as well, but kind of going in a downward trend. And then last to go is AMD trying to hold on to VWAP. Now, the fun part about this, and I don't necessarily know the answer here, and we're going to get to observe this in real time, all of us, for the rest of this afternoon, is as AMD potentially holds on to VWAP, if this can bounce off VWAP, and it starts to go first, can we have that same pattern happen in the other direction? Can now AMD bounce off VWAP being the stronger one, drag Intel and NVIDIA back up with it? They're all up on the day. But what's so interesting about this is it's not like you had to turn over 1,000 stones to figure out what was going to be next. NVIDIA AMD is an easy connection, I think, for a lot of people to make. Intel was a clean breakout level that the second something else wanted to go, it was a clean breakout level on its own. And the other thing is, like, there's a few other names that you might have put out there, and I'll go out to SMCI. And what makes it relatively easy is in this moment where if you're looking at, okay, what's going to go next? So here's, if you're picking between SMCI and AMD, what's the difference? SMCI at that same moment, right around 11 o'clock, it's coming into a support level. But what does it look like there? Lower highs, trying to hold an uptrend, but lower highs into a flat bottom. AMD, if you're trying to pick what's going to be the one to pick it up, higher lows, higher highs into a mini breakout and the consolidation above VWAP. So as you're looking toward, okay, what might be next? Does it have a bullish setup? And is it a good sympathy play? There's nothing wrong with SMCI as a sympathy play as a third to go, but it's making lower highs and lower lows into a flat bottom. AMD was making higher lows above VWAP, set up for a breakout trade. It's the same thing with going from NVIDIA to Intel. Intel was blasting up early, and it had that clean breakout setup on the 15-minute chart. So it was a natural place to look. If you're going to find what is the next thing to go, you don't just want to pull it out of the hat and say, oh, well, it's in the same sector. it's going to continue the move. It's just going to play some catch up. No, it has to actually be bullish as well. And that's why I don't think SMCI at any point fit that bill. AMD certainly did. And we're going to get to see if it can do it again as AMD tries to bounce off VWAP and Intel and NVIDIA are back underneath. So it's a bit of a unique situation where you can be long any of them. You can be long all of them. You can be long SMH. But the timing of this, I think, was pretty amazing because I can tell you at the exact moment that NVIDIA trailed out, it was breakout in Intel, then Intel went 2.5 to 3%. And when that made a double top and started to reverse it, AMD joined the party to the upside just as we're ending that morning show. And picking between AMD and SMCI was simple in terms of it being an up pattern still in AMD, and it wasn't an upward pattern in SMCI. So why would you look for continuation? If anything, SMCI was showing a reversal. So when Intel started to lose a bid and NVIDIA started to lose the bid, you actually could have maybe looked for short in a relatively weak name like SMCI. I just found it easier to try to pick what was next to go into the long. So passing that baton today were the chip names from one to the other. Let's see if they can do another lap around the track this afternoon. That's your lesson of the day.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much, Neil. Informative, excellent, and just outright awesome as always. Just helping Satea set up her charts, but we will get to that in a hot second. Let's just see what was moving over here. So it looks like we did break decisively right now on NVDA at the volume weighted average price, which is an issue, but there is seeming like for whatever reason here, the 50 exponential moving average featuring here on NVIDIA. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles on the 5-minute chart that have, for the most part, closed above the 50. We are, though, still putting in lower highs. So we're still curling down like this. So I'm unsure what to make of the monster NVIDIA. It's still up 2% on the day. Let's put some respect on this one's name. But I'd like to see it prove itself rather than guessing that the 50 is going to be an area of support. Well, why? Because this happened to me on Softy. But look at this. The respect for the 20 is real on Softy, but the wicks are getting me in trouble. I'm going to get back in on Softy here. It's the right thing to do. Let's load up MSFT. Now, do we have a bottom off which to work? 431.50. Okay, so this one is it putting in newer highs yet or no? No, and it's not putting in newer highs. So we're just seeing, this is what I'm seeing on Microsoft, guys. This is why I'm interested in getting back in. This is the 20 exponential moving average, that yellow line. Beautiful, right? It's holding all the closing prints north of the 20, but the closing prints don't matter, your stops. You're going to get stopped out if it breaches the 20 and then pops right back up. So I'd rather wait on this one. There seems to be something afoot with Softy today that I'm not really aware of, nor do I care, but I'd like to be able to take advantage of the price action if it does move back up. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye here on MSFT to see if it can weasel its way back up. Tesla did some stuff while Neil was dropping said hot lines over there because look at this. It printed a new high of day. Now we are knocking on the door of 257, and we've been awfully respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 since 11:30. So going on the better part of 45 minutes right now, the wicks all finding support at that 10 exponential. And here's the thing. Here's why I said Tesla was doing new things. Because, number one, all the wicks had taken us to 256.50, then rejected, with the closing prints all being south or at 256. Now we're closing almost at 257. So do we now use 256 as that level of support? That's what I would ask or submit to you guys. I think that would be an interesting look there. TSLA certainly in play here. Definitely on its way back up near the highs, 256.91. Good look there for TSLA. So lots of stuff to talk about. I mean, we only have about 45 minutes left until the Meta Connect conference. So Zuck is supposed to be the keynote today. Widely anticipated to be the launch of their augmented reality glasses, baby. We already saw the Meta glasses earlier this year, and you can kind of record and hear some stuff. Did I tell you the story? I didn't even tell you the story. I told it, Dara.
What's the story?
I got a buddy. I like him.
Okay.
I like the guy. He's a good guy. He's got a good heart. Some of his actions, though, Satea, a little cringe.
Okay.
So we go out to the club, right? Not even really a club. Like it's more like a bar. And
King Street?
King Street. Yes, in fact, it was actually King Street. Thank you for that. So This guy, he's bringing out his glasses. At first, you can't really tell that they're glasses. They're a little bit thicker than yours, okay? But there's this light, Satea, on the top of the glasses. And it turns white when you start recording.
Oh.
So my man's walking through the club and the light's on and everybody's looking. So I'm just like, yeah, you can walk a few steps ahead, bro.
Was he just streaming while he was just
He
walking
wanted to take the club experience and kind of record it so he could, you know, like, I don't know, social media it after. He's in the digital advertising game, so he's like always doing that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Anyway, but it was an experience to walk around the club with someone recording stuff. People aren't used to that kind of stuff yet. It's a little cringe, you know?
It's a little weird. It's just like, why are you recording me without my permission?
There you
It's
go.
A little strange.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, these
privacy
glasses are great, but like, you know, people gotta get used to them, right? Like you can't be recording every which way.
No, that's a little strange. That's a little weird. Tell him to just chill a little bit, you know?
I told him, Satea, you don't listen. Anything you want to mention before we start to listen to this?
You actually took the words out of my mouth.
Go.
I was looking at Tesla
Nice.
Before. So a lot of you guys were like, Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. And yeah, it's just rejecting off of this 257 and it's coming down. So I really think that today is just going to be a range day. I would not expect anything like a move up or down, really. I think we're just going to consolidate. And so I would just say, if you're banking on Tesla, just move on. You know, it's just an X that you need to dump. Like, it's just not today, you know. And so yeah, bang, bang, bang. And so yeah, so you need to move on to something else. Yeah. So what else are you looking at, Sharif?
I'm looking at CAPR. It took a huge flush, as you can see it there depicted on the red candles, one after another after another. Call me crazy, but it's at VWAP. I know, right? Everyone's calling me crazy. I know. It's at VWAP though, guys. So I'm looking for, believe it or not, another long here on this big boy flushing stock. 11 1/3. I want to see 11. What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man is long NVIDIA 123. 123 flat, man. 09. I stand corrected. 123.09 NVDA. I happen to love that. We're waxing poetic about the 50 exponential. I know for a fact you've got the 50 exponential on your charts. So shout out to the Katina Man there, support and resistance trader. You want? Okay. I thought you were going to show us. There it is. There it is. As you can see there, he's entered. There it is. And he's wetting his beak already. So shout out to you, Katina Man. Print up multiple storms there and let us know how it goes. All right, I'm probably going to join you on that, man, if this CAPR doesn't hold. So I'm looking again still at CAPR here. I don't want to be first to jump into this because it's actually breaching VWAP. So I'm going to pack my patience with this one, and I'm going to see what it does. But I do love the look right now on these large caps. There's a lot to trade. I'm still keeping my eye on Softy because it's still putting in higher lows with the closing prints respecting the 20. Meta, though, ladies and gents, Meta. This one's been a rocket ship as of late. It is now coming back down into the volume weighted average price, and just take a gander at what it had done with VWAP earlier. Hold, 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 hold. You want to guess what it did over here? It held. I like when I get crowd participation. Yes. No, seriously, though, it's really holding here. So Meta coming into the volume weighted average price. We're not that far away from it right now. It's showing up at 45 or 50s on my chart. We're printing 67s right now. So the Zuck train on the way down into the volume weighted average price, and it behooves us to load up this bad boy and see if we can execute on it, hopefully positively this time. Let's load up META, and we're going to look to see what we can do here. So we are at VWAP. If I was to get in here, the area low prior to that is the breach of 569. So I would literally have to give it to at least 569. That basically means that I've got to give it about 60 or 70 pennies. Let's see if we can get in here. It's not letting us in. And it's just too spready. The Zuck train has no room for me, it looks like, at the moment, because the spread is just too wide and it's going without me here. 20 penny spread is at 30 penny spread right now on META. How can I enter here without chasing it? I don't use market orders. So let's see if it can dip down, possibly get me wicked in, so that I don't have to chase this stock. What's the bid printing? 60s. I should be getting filled maybe over here. I don't want to chase it again, so I'm going to pack my patience, see if I can get the fill. And now we do get the fill. Okay, so now we're gonna have to defend 569. So that's what we're gonna do there. And we're gonna give this one the old community college try and see if we can execute on it. There we go. So the stop's in place. We're long 66s. Let's see what we can get possibly in the mid 90s, somewhere in and around there to de-risk, and then possibly move back in to 571. There seemed to be a lot of resistance on MET, at least intraday, at this 571 area. So it's been an interesting day today for Meta, certainly very strong. We got the Meta Connect event, lots to talk about today with respect to Meta. Hopefully it won't be a dud. But I don't know, are you predicting a sell the news event on Meta like we usually get with some of these, bigger headlines that end up, you know what I mean?
That is a possibility, to be honest. I was looking at NVIDIA, but let's just pull up Meta.
Sure. Hey, Katina Man's printing on that.
Print.
Shocking. What do you got? Oh, you're loading it up? Okay.
Yeah. So on Meta, right now, yeah, like we're at this VWAP right now. I feel like the event is really going to be an indication of where we go. If we break below this VWAP, then we are probably just going to flush. But if we can hold above this VWAP going into the event, then I think that it could be pretty clear skies. I would say my price target would be around 572.64 at those highs and go from there. But I am redirecting my attention to NVIDIA because Sean, he made me a little bit interested in it. So I'm looking at, I have an order here at 123.68 to 123.70. I'm looking to get filled there as well. I'm gonna put my stop loss around this 123.10. Maybe I don't want to get stopped out, so I'm gonna do 122.99, and hopefully this trade goes up and we see where we go from there. How about you, Sharif?
Meta is a beauty. I keep almost saying Adara, but you got to give me like a day or so. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
You're trying. That's all that matters.
I got Meta. I'm happy with this trade, Katina, man. We took 66 pennies like that. We're not going to hit the dollar club because that would be unwarranted, but we got in. You saw exactly where we got in there. We got in at 65s. Wet my beak there at 33s, Katina, man. I do appreciate you. We're going to look to trade Meta again. Okay, if it comes back into the volume-weighted average price, has been very respectful of VWAP. So META, wait for the setups. I love that, man. Wait for the setups. Like Katina, man, doing his absolute most and his patience today. Shout out to him, man. Great day for the morning, and great day for the floor, and great day for the Katina, man, and Neil. We're gonna shout them out. Big boy trading, real trading. Shout out to real trading, the best dang prop floor on around these parts, I should say, excuse me. Keeping my eye still on Meta, but I promised Nicole Harris I would, and shout out to Hotlanta, by the way, that I would look at, let me just make sure all my stops are cleared here because I don't want to get short when I shouldn't be getting short, okay? So just let me clear up my stops and then I'll look at AI. So Nicole Harris wants to have a look at AI, C3 AI. Oh, baby, this is directional. Okay, so it looks like it was, what are we up on the day? Why are we only up 0.22%? This looks like a hell of a move. This can't be right, nah, bruh. Okay, let me just move down. I don't think it's updating. C3 AI, I think where do I have it there? Oh, yeah, C3 AI is up 3 1/3. I knew that was wrong. My platform wasn't updating. Okay, so this has been awfully respectful of multiple different levels over here. So I like the double bottom in and around that VWAP area, Nicole, 233.55. That was a nice little test there before you broke highs. Now, it looks to me, Nicole, like we're defending that previous area of resistance. Look at this double top crest over here at 10.15 on the 5. So let me throw in the ticker. I apologize there. Just put AI. All right, so this is what I mean, Nicole. Double top in and around there, 23.80. Sure, we reject. We come back down. We do a double bottom over here at 23.55. But look what happened. Once we broke, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I apologize for your eardrums. But 23.55, once we defended that and we broke through 23.80, we started defending 23.80 as a level of support. I love this. It's awfully respectful of previous area of resistance coming in or flipping to support. This one looks really good. It's essentially off 23.80. My suggestion, Nicole, is possibly using 2390 now as your level of support. Look at how many times we rejected. And this is the 5-minute chart, Nicole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before we broke it here at 12:15 on the 6th. So 2390 dip trade possibly here, and it's breaking through 24, so you know it's going, baby. Does this thing have any news? No, man, this thing has no news. 123.76. NVIDIA? The offers are being lifted like crazy, says the Katinaman on NVDA, and it's absolutely moving back into 124. We're going to shout him out there, man, because this is one hell of a rounded bottom. And I know Big Spile hasn't been with us lately, and, you know, he's taking a bit of a break. Shout out to him. We miss him around these parts, and he's going to be back soon. But, you know, he's not the only one that can appreciate these rounded bottoms. I can appreciate them, too. We get the break through the volume-weighted average price, and this looks like it could be moving up through 124 again, Katinaman. So you're going to let me know how it goes, because this is rounding up, looking to move up back, possibly into those higher days. The Katinaman is taking some out here at VWAP, by the way. What's your look?
So I got filled at my NVIDIA trade at 123.69. So I'm hoping that, you know, we can stay above VWAP and continue forward. I have my take profit here at 124.48. I would put it at 124.50, but I feel like if it wants to reject off of that level, I may not get filled. So that is what I'm doing. We're a couple pennies in the money, so that is looking great. I have my stop loss here at 123.23, 123.25 and 123.23. So giving it, you know, 2 cents. And hopefully I might, as we go forward, I'm going to put my stop in at break even. That's usually just how I trade. As it goes in the money, I want to make sure that I'm not losing on the trade. So that is what I'm going to do. So shout out to Sean for calling that out. You know, I hopped on board. It's at this NVIDIA, this VWAP. So I really like that as well. And so, yeah, I'm just going to take a couple pennies and get the heck out.
I love it. Sounds good. All right, we're going to start the lesson du jour because it's about half past right now. Guys, we have been talking about reversal patterns all of last week. We continued with that discussion into this week, hopefully giving you some good content. Today, we're going to continue with the discussion about reversal patterns, but we're going to take a bit of a different take. We're going to talk about adjusting and finding price objectives based on these reversal patterns. So let's get right to it. So the objective today is to provide you a comprehensive understanding of how to determine price objectives using these reversal patterns. And we're also going to look to explore adjustments based on additional technical factors. So we're also going to look at things in the CMT materials, the Chartered Market Technician materials, to enhance the learning experience. But as we always do, let's introduce the topic de novo for those who haven't joined us or are joining us for the first time. Price objectives, essentially what that means is that, well, what they are is a critical component of technical analysis which provide traders with a price target where the price of a security is likely to move after a breakout or breakdown of a reversal pattern. So today we'll look to cover the following. 1, methods for finding price objectives. 2, how to adjust the price objectives using technical tools, and some insights from these CMT materials that add more of a bit of an advanced twist. So let's get right to it. How do we determine these dang price objectives for reversal patterns? Well, I'm going to submit to you that the height of the pattern super important in these reversal patterns. So price objectives of reversal patterns are typically based on the height. So let's take the case of the head and shoulders. In the head and shoulder, you measure the distance from the head to the neckline, okay? From the top of the head to the neckline, and then you project it downward. So if the head is, say, at $100, okay, the neckline is at $80. We know that there's a difference of $20 between the top of the head and the neckline. All we're doing is taking that same 20 quantum and projecting it down from the neckline, which is 80, so it'll go down to 60. That should be our first beak wetter, our first profit taker. Super simple, right? Super simple to do. So basically you're projecting that distance upon the break of the neckline. And here's what I'm talking about. Here's a head and shoulders pattern. There is the top of the head. You can see, we talked about this yesterday, sloping necklines. If you joined us yesterday in the lesson, you'll understand what this is. You basically measure the distance from the top of the head to the neckline, and then you take that distance and you project it down from the breakdown point, not from wherever you want on the neckline, from the breakdown point of the neckline, and you project it downward. And that's what this over here says, your minimum target. That should be your first beak wetter. There's an alternative method to this. It's by John J. Murphy in his book, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. He doesn't go into too much depth, but he basically presents an alternative method for just measuring the height of the pattern. What he says is you can measure the length of the first wave of the decline and double it. So for example, if the first wave of a decline on NVIDIA, say from point C to point D, is 15 points. Let's say 15 pennies. It's not going to be $15. Right? 15 points, whatever. Then the objective could be 30 points downward. So basically, you're just taking the first wave from C to D, and you're basically doubling it in value, and then you're saying, that's my beak wetter. I personally haven't tried it, can't vouch for it, and again, John Jay doesn't go into too much depth about it. The role of volatility can't be understated as well when it comes to these price pattern price objectives. So the greater the height of the pattern, the greater the volatility, the zigzagging of the pattern, the larger the price objective. Remember that these methods provide you minimum targets. So when I'm telling you, wet your beak here, take profits here, that's your first out. It could go higher, it could not go at all, quite frankly. Now we know that that's to be the case. This is a probabilities game, no certainties here. Some CMT additions, chartered market technician additions to this theory. The CMT curriculum emphasizes logarithmic scaling for volatile markets, especially with the large caps, right? It also notes the importance of price symmetry. I'll show you what I mean by those in a second, which is the size or magnitude of a price move in one direction typically mirrors a subsequent move in the opposite direction. So here's a look at the logarithmic scaling. Not sure which stock this is, but you'll also notice quite simply that the distance, actual distance between $20 and $40 farther than the distance between 60 and 40, 60 and 80, etc. The point of this is to show you the bigger moves without having to narrow down the time frame from, say, like a daily to a monthly. You can encompass it all on the daily, but you have logarithmic scaling, at least in the initial starts. So just wanted to show you that. This is kind of the difference of how it would appear when you use the log scale on the left versus the arithmetic scale on the right. This one gives you a more, I want to say a condensed view. While this one obviously is IRL, you're going to have to zoom out a little bit to be able to see the full picture. And this is what I mean by price symmetry. So typically when you get a big boy move down, like from point 1 to point 2, you're going to have an equally or similar to bounce from point 2 to point 3. That's all it's really saying. It's telling you to look for symmetry in these markets. So we've waxed poetic about, measuring the height and how to adjust your price targets based on some, objective methodology. But there are situations where we have to forego that methodology and adjust our price targets. And the first reason we do that is if there are key areas of support and resistance in and around our price targets. So it's important to adjust your price objectives if there are key areas of support and resistance levels in close proximity to your calculated price target. So for example, if a projected target for a downtrend, let's just say $62, but there's strong support at 64, it behooves you to move your beak wetter, your profit taker up from 62 to 64 to account for that level of support or resistance, okay? So keep that in mind. You should also look to adjust your profit targets if you're at key fib levels, especially if the instrument you're trading has shown its propensity to respect these fib levels in the past. So let's get right to that. In bear markets, so the book says, it is common to see retracements to Fibonacci levels like 38.2, 50, 61.8. These retracement levels provide possible zones where the price might pause or reverse. So keep fib levels in mind. And as well, previous reaction high and lows. Now, these are not well-established support and resistance areas. They're reaction, meaning that they didn't hang out at that level for all that long. But pay close attention to previous reaction lows in a downtrend or reaction highs in an uptrend. These levels often serve, as I said, as minor areas of support and resistance points that could impact the fulfillment of your price objectives. So it's going to really be incumbent upon you to decide whether these flashpoints are worthy of you adjusting your price target, or you're just going to look the other way. Some CMT additions to this theory, they talk about here advanced concepts known as Fibonacci projections. Essentially what these are, in addition to retracements, projections help estimate the next likely price move, especially in the absence of historical data. I talked about this initially. Neil often uses the term blue sky setup, as do I. What does that mean? That means we've never been above this level before. Case in point, Apple. Has it ever been above $238? Like after split adjust? No. So if we were to base these Fib projections on Apple, anything above 238, we would not have anything off which to chart. We would need to use these Fib projections. So it's particularly useful when the pattern breaks beyond existing support and resistance levels, forecasting new price ranges using these extensions like the 127.2, 161.8. Here's how you use them. So you have to basically start at your swing low using your tools, obviously, in the computer, and you draw the high to the swing high, and then you drag to the retracement. It's key, though, that the retracement is above the starting point, and then you're basing it off this, okay? You're dragging your Fib tool off this point here, the retracement, and then you're gauging it up. Prior to this over here, there had been no price action. Okay, there had been no price action here. This is just to kind of depict so you can get the idea. As you can see, 161.8, 138.2, et cetera, et cetera. These help gauge when there's never been price discovery at that level in the past. Okay, blending these technical tools, though, is really pumped by John J. Murphy in his book. He emphasizes the importance of blending multiple technical tools in your analysis. Price targets from patterns are just one piece of the puzzle, so he says you must consider other technical indicators like trend lines, moving averages, volume, momentum indicators, etc. The CMT takes a bit of a different approach to this theory. Basically, what they say is they champion trend strength indicators like your ADX, average directional index, and using that with momentum oscillators like your RSI, like your MACD, etc. The idea here is that multiple confirmations using different tools helps provide higher confidence for your price objectives. And this is not an indicator we've ever talked about on at least this show. ADX is going to typically be shown at the bottom of the chart like your MACD, like your RSI. We're not going to go into a dissertation on how to use it now. Maybe we'll do that at a future date. But this is what the CMT materials suggest. So to conclude, price objectives are primarily derived from the height of the reversal pattern, but these objectives should be, NVIDIA's going, says the Katina man, but these objectives should be based on nearby support and resistance levels, your Fib retracement, as well as your reaction high and lows. An effective TA, technical analysis, comes from combining these various tools and indicators and mixing it with market conditions. And the CMT curriculum really adds value by emphasizing the importance of advanced techniques like logarithmic scaling, Fib projections, and multi-time frame analysis. I like that. How you doing over there?
Yes, so I was just in NVIDIA. So I had it at 120, where was it? It was 123, 123.70 initially. Got out because I got a little bit scared. And then I took a couple of pennies. But you know what? It's zooming up now. I'm a little bit sad that I got out a little bit early. But you know what? What are you going to do? I'm just still trying to figure out, you know, how to be on the show, how to trade at the same time. So I feel like I get a little finicky, like, let me just grab my money now. But it really looks like it's moving, though. And so if, you know, I had, you know, the big kahunas to get back in, I would. But it looks great. It looks amazing. So shout out to Sean for that.
Get it, Katina, man.
Yeah, awesome. And so, yeah, it's holding that VWAP floor, and I really like that. And it's going above. Let me just bring this chart over here. And so, yeah, it's breaking through this 123.82. And so I really like that. And so if we even go on the hourly chart, see, it wicked off of this 123. And I like the fact that it's like near that even dollar level. So as long as we don't break through that 123, it looks great. It looks amazing to me. How about you, Sharif?
I'm staring here at Tesla, and you know, you were analyzing this quite well earlier. I got to tell you the truth, Satya, but it's right back at VWAP, and after it made a new high.
What was it? What were you looking at, sir?
Tesla.
Tesla, oh yeah.
Yeah, it made that new high that you and I were talking about. It knocked on the door of 257, but look at this, uninterrupted to the downside on the 5-minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles in a row. If this one closes red, it'll be 8, but right now it looks green. Anyway, it's technically still a higher low, and it's at the 50. Look what it did at the 50 prior. 1125, 1130, found its footing at the 50. You know, we've been talking about the 50's been featuring more with these large caps for whatever reason. And I don't know why, because there are periods where the 50 doesn't feature at all on the 5. I'm talking about the 5. And then there are periods where it seems to come back in vogue, and I have no idea why. But right now, there is precedent on the day to show you that it did find its footing at the 50 exponential. I don't need to be first into the trade. I just need to, you know, be able to discern that and possibly get in maybe if it makes a new high above the previous 5-minute candle, that is. 255.25 would be a new high above this red candle over here, which, you know, as my friend Neil likes to say, getting it on the back end, getting it as it prints new greens, a new green candle to show you that the buyers are actually stepping in, not guessing that the buyers are going to step in at the 50. So we'll see, but I'm keeping my eye here on TSLA, awfully interesting. Goggles is eek. Goggles looks ugly right now. Look, you know, Amazon and Apple don't look great either, but Goggles is a big boy U-shaped retracement. And quite frankly, I think it's looking at making lows. Like, I mean, it's doing that umbrella hockey stick pattern where it makes a big move down, kind of sideways. You can call this a bear flag. It's equally relevant as well. Rejects off the 10 and it's coming back into low. Sure, it's above the IB low, fine. That's at 161.20. But this one looks awfully weak. And again, kind of the opposite of what I thought would be on the day, Satya, because I don't know if you read the headline, but Google is, it's hot in the kettle, it's so funny. Google is accusing Microsoft of antitrust actions in Europe. Obviously, Google is always in focus for antitrust as well, with that digital ad sales and stuff like that.
For sure.
So I thought it would be Softy who'd be selling off and Google going up. No, not at all. It's the exact opposite. Google down 0.46, Softy up 0.63. So there you go.
Reverse.
Anyway, so keeping an eye right now on Tesla, keeping an eye, obviously, on the monster NVIDIA. That goes without saying. I saw you guys in the chat yelling about CAPR. Oh, baby. This one held 11, and it's curling back up. Okay, so this one is holding on, right? I mean, it did breach VWAP, and it did actually trade below VWAP for almost 20 minutes. But, you know, that shows you that rules are made to be broken, and it's right back up. I'm going to say keep your eyes on 12, guys. We had a lot of resistance at 12 initially. We used it as support once we broke through, but it could act as a resistance again. CAPR, there's a lot to talk about, man. These small caps are moving. Look at Donkey Kong. DKN Dang G. Uninterrupted to the high side. Let's load up DKNG on the side chart here because it's not updating on the chart. Donkey Kong is almost up 7%, and it's done 10 million shares, which is not bad. 41.83, nary a red candle on the 5. We haven't had a red candle almost going back an hour, well, except this one. This is a doji, that doesn't count. So this one's looking real good. Obviously, I'm not going to punch in at highs. Jay Lee, in my humble opinion, the only right play when Google and Microsoft start suing each other is to get long on the corporate law firms. You are absolutely accurate on that day. And let me tell you, I am sick and tired of seeing the same law firm show up on my news blotter trying to solicit shareholders to sue different companies. It's always the same. I want to put this shareholder, this law firm on blast if I can find them here. Yeah, Braunstein, Gurwitz, and Grossman, they always show up a lot. And there's more. Katina, man. I know, but why are they suing so much? Anyway, I guess that's what lawyers do. That's their job. No, but seriously though, your point is very well taken, Jay. You're absolutely right on that. 2 New York cents. Google is about to retrace down to 157. Let's have a look. Maybe you're accurate. I'm kind of bearish on Google right now. I don't know if we see 157 on the day, my man, but certainly it could be one that we get in the near future. I'm going to send it to you while I set up for an ad read.
For sure. So right now I am looking at Uber because someone said Uber in the chat, and it's breaking through these highs, looking great. 77.97, clean break off of that, and we are holding. So if we could hold above that 77.97, this is looking great. Great to the upside. I like the fact that it did this consolidation before the break, which gives me more confirmation that we are going up. So shout out to Uber. That is looking amazing. So with the take profit, I would say, we don't want to get crazy here. We don't want to get too high and say, $85 today. No. Let's just say 79, I think would be a good target, $79. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at as of right now. Another thing that I'm looking at is Meta. Meta is breaking through this VWAP. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, so it's breaking through this VWAP as of right now. I know that we have that what is
Connect
it
event, yeah.
Connect event coming on at 1, so 15 minutes, around 15 minutes till that. So I would wait until that. I would say that getting in a little bit early, you may be caught offside. So I'd say wait for more confirmation, wait for that 1 p.m., and hopefully that will give us a better, clear indication as to where this is going. But as of right now, it's breaking through VWAP. So yeah, that's what it's doing right now. In motion. DLTR, what is that? Let's look at that right now. DLTR breaking above VWAP. I really like this. If we can hold above VWAP 70.64, then this is looking great for me. I would say if I'd be getting in around this time, I would probably be looking at this 70.45 to risk off of, just because I feel like if it breaks that, this is like a clear resistance, And so if it breaks through that, then I'm thinking, this trade is not what I thought it was. But as long as we can stay above that, I think this looks great. This looks amazing. Tesla about to test the 201 minute and VWAP above that. Let's go back to Tesla. Tesla is a hot topic right now. I mean, it's still looking pretty bearish. I feel like we have a point in which we can risk off of. So this 256.90, call it 257, is a good point to risk off of, around $3. So yeah, but if you don't want to give it that much room, I would say even 255.49, 255.50, and risking it for that short, because this is looking pretty bearish. It's not like it's just hitting that ceiling. It doesn't want to go any higher than that. And so, yeah, I would definitely think that this is pretty bearish for Tesla as of today. So that's what I am looking at. And then, are we ready for the, yeah?
We are.
Okay, awesome.
Becoming a funded trader, Satya, means trading with a firm's money instead of your own. At Trade the Pool, you first complete an evaluation by hitting profit targets while managing risk. Once you pass, you get access to up to $260,000 in buying power. You keep 80% of your profits while the firm covers the risk. It's the perfect way to trade big without risking your own funds. Are you ready to become a funded trader? If you are, join Trade the Pool, scan that QR code on your screen, or click the link in the description for more information. Shout out to this Catman over here who was on with Brendo, and I think he did a hell of a job talking about TA. Shout out to him, and shout out to Trade the Pool. Thank you for sponsoring the show. All right, goggles continuing to make lower lows, guys. Here we go, 161.34. We talked about the IB low, the implied balance low coming into that fifth of a dollar. I believe it bounced exactly off 20. I'm wrong. It bounced off 21. It is putting a bit of a hammer candle now. This, qualifies for double bottom-ish levels. We were talking about how double tops and double bottoms don't always have the exact same level off which they're rejecting. So if Google wants to curl up here, possibly take out the 10, I'll be looking at it that way, but going to pack my patience there. Apple has been rejecting off the volume-weighted average price essentially all morning since we broke down below at 11.10. Amazon I didn't see this in the cards today for Amazon. I didn't really think that there was anything bad news headline related for Amazon, but it's selling off. It's down 0.8. It's the worst performing Mag 7 name on the day, not by much. Apple's down 0.77, Amazon 0.8, but if I had to choose a chart that looks uglier than the other, I would choose AMZN because it just printed lows. 192.36 LOD. It's been very respectful of the 20 exponential moving average on the 5. Every single pop into the 20 exponential subsequent to 10:55 a.m. has sold off. So interesting look on MSFT if you want to get short that. Satea brings up a very valid point that Meta, for the first time on the day now, has actually closed the 5-minute candle south of the volume weighted average price. So I took a long on Meta at VWAP specifically for the reason that it had been respecting VWAP. We'll see. It's not a big breach, right? This is a almost $600 name now. Wow. Do you believe that this thing was $88 in October 2022?
It's insane.
$88.
$88. I know the people that had it at that time and they sold off. I know you guys are mad. You guys should have helped. I know, what else can you say?
So true. It's so true. Thank you for putting that in such eloquently. I know you guys are mad. Yeah, because how could you not be mad, right? Like, because if you were holding the same position that you sold at 233, you didn't sell anything? You didn't trim the position at all? Yeah, the Katina man, he's still holding from there. I took out the entire thing well below anything. Eh? Yeah, it was a good day, Katina man. It wasn't a bad day. Yeah, it was okay. I know, but bro, I mean, like, it is. That's a $100 club, says. Shout out to the Katina man. Always good vibes, Katina, baby. All right. Let's get back into trading over here. Softy zigging and zagging and making me look like a dang fool because it is no longer respecting the 20 exponential. Looks like I was just dreaming when I was seeing that. For whatever reason, it is finding, though, some support at 431.5. And yeah, you see some breaches there by wicks. But the closing print's all above that 431.5. And that's funny because 431.5 essentially was a bit of a top earlier. Now we use it as a bottom. So I wasn't alive to that, hence why I didn't get in. But MSFT, it's been impressing me on the day, so we're going to keep tabs there. Tesla back above the volume weighted average price again, and we are now only 8 minutes away from this Meta Connect conference, and that's going to prompt me to look for it on the YouTube. Do I sound like 100? The YouTube? My old man always says the YouTube. I can't help it. I know. I just gotta start dyeing my hair white. But yeah, we're gonna load up Meta Connect. Let's see if it's available on the YouTube. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's already on there. It's already being broadcast here. I think it is being broadcast by other individuals. I'm trying to find the actual guys. Production team, can you help me find Meta Connect event? Oh, thank you, Ram. Sorry, I wasn't plugged in, Fabian, so I couldn't hear you. Oh, thank you. Ram, can you send it to me, please? No, she doesn't want to send it to me. Okay, in 8 minutes. I have to be disciplined like a child. They're going to send it to me in 8 minutes.
Okay, 8 minutes on the dot.
This is the adult speaking.
Yes, Meta Connect event, guys. Be careful with this. Oftentimes, what ends up happening is it becomes a sell the news event. That's obviously, presupposing that no new announcements are being made. We know that they're going to announce likely augmented reality glasses. What I'm saying is if something that isn't predicted gets launched. Thank you, Ram. I do appreciate that. I'll load it up in a hot sec. Meta Connect event, guys, 7 minutes away. Meta will be a permanent resident of the trading screen. We're going to see exactly what we get on META, and then we'll talk about that. I'm just going to set up. What are you looking at over there?
Awesome. So I'm looking at the QQQs to kind of see, what might Meta do? What will NVIDIA do? Because right now we're just kind of hugging between this VWAP. And so the QQQs, they're below VWAP. So it could, yeah, for sure. So it could look pretty bearish as of right now, but, we'll see. So we have Meta here, not really doing too much. We're going to wait for that 1 p.m. mark. So that's what we're going to look at here. But I'm really staring down this NVIDIA. NVIDIA, we're beefing right now because I really want it to go up. It was at that VWAP, holding that VWAP. Now it's just, for precisely at VWAP. And so it's just zigging, it's just zagging. I don't really know what it's doing right now, but I'm hoping if we can get below this 123.10 or 123 just for that even dollar, I feel like NVIDIA could be, pretty bearish for the, remainder half of the day. So this is looking pretty decent for the short. I would probably be risking 123.87. But I want to see if it gets down to this 123 and get to that breakdown of 123, because I feel like that is, a better indicator of where it may go. Join BA. So let's see what Boeing is doing, because someone in the chat said Boeing. So Boeing, looking pretty ugly. I wish I looked at this today, because I would have taken this below this pre-market low. This would have been a nice place to risk off of this 155.08. I would have risked above VWAP, because usually it shouldn't go above VWAP in my trading strategy. So 156.18 would be my place to risk off of. But as of right now, because, we're in that moment right now, it's looking pretty bearish as of right now. I think what it could look like is, I'm just going to draw this downtrend here. I could say maybe we may trace up to this 154 if it goes up, but I think it's just a little, a dead cat bounce. I don't think it's going to be, a clear trend up for the rest of the day. I definitely think it does retrace up here around 154 and then bang back down. Unless we get some catalyst, maybe, there may be some momentum there, but I think this is pretty bearish for the rest of the day. BA is a short today. Yes, John, it's looking bad. It's looking ugly. And so what else are we looking at? Pfizer, what is happening to Pfizer? I actually didn't look at that today, so let's look at that. Pfizer, PFE. So yeah, oh my, what is happening to Pfizer? That is just banging down as well. So if we look here on the 1 minute, it got up, so the high of the day is 29.70, and then at VWAP, it's really been rejecting around this 29.37. It just keeps going down and down and down, and so I really want to see where's it going to stop, because we need to see, where we could take profits. If we go back, dating from Thursday, September 12th, we see here that it bounced at this 28.76 level. So I think that this would be a good indication of whether or not we bounce off this 28.76 or we continue down from this 28.76. So I think that this would be a good pivotal level to kind of dictate that. So yeah, Pfizer, do you know anything about Pfizer? Why it may be? Did you hear any news about that?
Nothing today. Well, let me have a look, because maybe I'm speaking too soon because I didn't look at the news blotter. All right. There's a couple of news headlines here. Pfizer versus Moderna COVID vaccine patent battles to go to appeal UK. Oh, yes, I do remember this. So Moderna has been suing Pfizer for stealing the mRNA technology.
Okay.
Right? So it was their invention. Then obviously Pfizer weaseled in, took it. Well, again, I shouldn't say that because it hasn't been decided yet. But anyway, it looks as if maybe selling off on that news. I know Pfizer was the user of Moderna's technology, so it's Moderna who stands to gain from this lawsuit and Pfizer who stands to lose. By the way, this is in England. I don't know how much applicability that has in North America. It's not binding, obviously, in North America, but it could be persuasive to the courts here. In any event, that's all I see. But I was thinking actually about getting into Pfizer. I was looking at Neil the other day. I'm like, because they've got an oral GLP drug on the way. Okay. And a lot of people don't like injecting themselves. It's just not what they want to do, right?
Yeah. So I'm scared of needals, to be honest.
Likewise. And so if I can take an oral GLP and lose weight, obviously I think that has a lot more market. But 100%. They've already had 2 GLP canceled studies that didn't do well. Either it was really bad in terms of side effects or it just didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. They're 0 for 2 on this. They better get this one right.
They better get their stuff together,
right?
Because the people are waiting.
People are waiting. I love it. All right. So thank you for that, Ram. I do have now the Meta Connect conference there. It will begin shortly. Says this. Are we allowed to show it or no? Okay. All right. Just making sure. Sorry, production team. Don't mean to upset you. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Scheduled to begin technically in 1 minute, but we'll see when that actually does start. So Meta Connect conference, super important because while they're releasing new products and Meta all of a sudden all of a sudden has become a hardware company. Not all of a sudden, obviously they've been doing that for a hot minute, but they're really expanding their hardware offerings. Okay, back to CAPR here. Shout out to the individual who was telling me in the chat about CAPR moving again, because wow, what a recovery here for the small cap gapper du jour, going through that 1220 again. There was no seller this time at 1215 for 5,000 some odd lots. So we're moving pretty steadily. We did whiffle and waffle at 12 for a hot minute. That is until we continued up. Nice U-shaped recovery here on CAPR. Put some dang respect on this one's name. 34%, and even off the highs, it was up a little bit more. We talked about the short float on this one being awfully big. However, it's been very strong the last 3 days. So I'm submitting to you that a lot of shorts could have already been pushed out. Therefore, that old number, 28 some odd percent, or 25 some odd percent, could be a little bit lower than what is being reported by Trade Ideas. Why? Because the short interest on stocks usually around 14. Is it 14 trading days or 14 days? Do you guys know what I'm saying? With the short interest, Katina Man. Like, you know how it updates every 4? I thought it was 14. Yeah, Katina Man's going to look it up. Shout out to him. What are you guys yelling about back there? Why are they saying there it is? All right, so CAPR. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not looking at the large caps. Thank you for that, Neil. Meta just dropped. What is this gap? There's not supposed to be gaps in on an intraday chart, bro. What's going on here? There's a gap. All right, it's getting bought up though, but shout out to Neil. Thank you for calling that out. I didn't have eyes on Meta. It dipped aggressively into 568.32, being bought up though into 569. Wow, that was a gap intraday. You don't see that often. At least I don't see that often. Usually you see that reflected overnight or on the daily chart, but there you go. Intraday gap there, no trading in between those levels. Big move down. And Microsoft did a flash drop as well. Look at Microsoft dropping into below the volume weighted average price, breaching that 431 support level we were waxing poetic about. So we shall keep a look there. The Future also took a bit of a nosedive. The NQ now is now negative, albeit very barely negative, flat essentially, 0.02% in negatory land. 20,168 is the closing print from yesterday. We're below that. And we've been putting a lower low, lower high channel essentially all dang morning on the Future. So we had a nice move up there in the earlier trading day, but this has been a lower high, lower low channel on the NQ December contract now for the, so when did we start? 10:15. We've been making lower lows and lower highs since 10:15. Interesting. I'm keeping my eye, guys, still on the MetaConnect event. Nothing coming through over here quite yet. Satea.
Right now, I am looking at NVIDIA. So I said that I liked it around this 123. I'm going to put my stop in at 123.22 to 123.25. And so hopefully we don't get stopped out here. So I'm just going to put that real quick. Put that in. There we go. Is that in? Yes. So I have my stop in. Ooh, it's bouncing off that 123, and we're at 123.12. So I don't know. I thought I had a good look on it because, you know, it was below that VWAP. But, you know, we're still seeing what it does from here. So hopefully we don't get liquidated. Stopped out. But I'm hoping that we continue this downtrend here. I'm going to go look on the higher time frame.
I can't hear you, Ram. Who's?
Is it showed? Is it good? Okay, so yeah. So I'm looking down here. I'm gonna look on the 5-minute. So on the 5-minute here, looking pretty decent. Again, this 123.70 would be an ideal place to risk, but I don't really want to give it that much room. So we're just gonna keep it at 122 and 123.22, and hopefully, and it's going down. It's banging down. So hopefully, yeah, it's in the money. Is it in the money? Yes, it's a little bit in the money. So yes. Yes, this is what I was waiting for. So let's put our target profit. I'm going to do, you know what, I don't want it to go up from here. So I'm just going to do 122.70. I definitely think that it could go there. So I'm going to put my take profit at 122.70. And let's just hope for the best. Let's just, you know, pray and hope. And hopefully it gets down there. How about you, Sharif?
All right, I'm trying my hand here at a 12 defend on CAPR. We're going to give this one a little bit of room. It broke down aggressively off the highs, off that 2040 touch. I'm looking for 12 to act as a bit of a shelf. A support shelf, that is. So we're going to give this one the old college try over here, see if we can defend 12. 12 has been an interesting level all day on it, but the moves north of 12 have been troublesome for some. So I'm giving this a little bit of room. I'm looking to wet my beak. Maybe in the mid-teens here with ultimately the last piece for the dang dream. We're going to hold this one possibly into that high a day like 1240, something like that. It's a spready one for a cheap name, showing 15s on the ask and 9s on the, there we go. We get the print, baby. All right, so pumped about this one. Looking for more though, I'm greedy. I'm kidding, I'm actually not a greedy guy. So we're going to put the next beak wetter at the $0.25 over here, hence why it's a red with a circle. Again, this all presupposes us defending 12. CAPR has been, I don't want to say predictable, because when you see this kind of stuff, it makes you saying predictable. It makes me saying that it's predictable, makes me sound pretty stupid, because I definitely didn't see that one coming. But where it held up here was kind of predictable. Not this down move, but where it held up. This area here is volume weighted average price. So we wet our beak there, de-risk, looking for a $0.25 to test again. 12 is the area I'm looking to defend on CAPR. I gotta tell you, it's ugly though. Topping tail candle prior to this candle over here. But have we exhausted the selling in and around this area? This level from, let's just say 1215 to about 1250? Because every time we go up into this area, we topping tail. So how much selling is there going to be around here? Let's see. Maybe we can exhaust and overwhelm the sellers. I'm going to take my chances with this one, and we already have the stop in place. By the way, guys, I'm still waiting for the MetaConnect conference. It's still saying MetaConnect will start shortly. We are 6 minutes late. Technically, obviously, we'll see exactly when it starts. Obviously, right when 1 o'clock hit, there was all sorts of market action, I'm assuming, likely to do with the MetaConnect event, but we don't really know. So keeping my eye here on CAPR, looking for this 12 defend. I do need to adjust my stop because my stop is based on the full size, and I no longer have the full size. So I'm going to send it to you as I just put in my stop.
For sure. So I'm not really liking how NVIDIA is looking, so I am just going to get out here. Don't look that. So yeah, let's just see, 123.09. Actually, I'm going to keep it. As long as we can, stay below this 123.10, I'm looking to stay in the trade. But as of right now, it looks like it's rejecting off the 122.74 in the short term. So I just want to see, what we do from here. 120. You know what? I'm sussing. I'm gonna do 123.18, and if it gets up there, then I think I'm gonna get out, just because it didn't give me the action that I was looking for. You know what? I'm just gonna get out. Just get out. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't like that. I thought that we would, have a resistance here and then continue to break down, but we are breaking through this point here at 123.16, so it didn't give me the look that I was looking for. And then obviously we had this wick here at 122.75 right at 1 p.m. So usually when the new candlestick forms on the hourly chart, I usually respect whatever happens during that time. And so yeah, I just don't really like it right now, to be honest. NVIDIA, yeah, you let me down today, to be honest. But you know what? It is what it is. We're going to move on to the next trade. What are you looking at, Sheree?
I want to report, Sate, that we did have the 5-year note auction. That's an oversight on my part. 5-year note auction dropped at 1 o'clock, hence why we wicked up and down like that. Again, I don't have the 5-year on my side chart. I don't follow the yield on the 5-year, so I can't make a comparison to what the auction result was versus what it was trading at prior to the auction. That's how you make the comparison. Oftentimes, it's incorrectly compared to the previous print. That is not the comparison that we make. We make the comparison based on the auction that dropped at 1 o'clock relative to what it was trading at prior to the auction. I don't have that, sadly. In any event, the actual 3.519, we'll keep an eye on that. The market doesn't really seem like it's doing anything right now. I mean, it had that flash. I don't want to call it a flash crash, but a flash dip, and it got right back up. So the NQ positive again, essentially flat, technically 0.04% in the green. So not really doing much of anything. I'm still locked in here, guys, on CAPR. I'm looking to wet my beak, Fabian, at around 12.25. There does seem to be that seller again at 15 pennies. The only thing is, though, this time's a little bit different. He's not posting on, he's not showing, or they, I don't know who's on the other side of this. Here we go. Okay, so it just got taken out. 18 showing up now. I'm waiting at a quarter, baby. Let's go. Let's squeeze, man. Let's go, capper. I'd like a print, please, at a $0.25. So what I was about to say was I felt like the hidden seller was at 15s again, just not posting onto the gateways this time. So we get back into that same level there, 18s, but we do take out that mid-teens seller, hidden or otherwise. Let's see if we can print anything above 20s. I've been waiting for a hot minute on this one to wet my beak at the $0.25, but it may not come in, on my timetable. So keeping my eye on that. Finch Jane, you're right. Flash crash or flush. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, though, Finch Jane. He's one of the OGs in the chat. He knows exactly what we're talking about there. So keeping my eye over here, we're making, okay, here we go again with 19s, possibly showing 20s now on the book on CAPR. I'm waiting at a $0.25, so we'll pack our patience with that one right there. Still waiting, guys, for that Meta Connect conference. I do have it live, and now we are about 11 minutes late or so. It's obviously taking place in the West Coast. Not that that matters at all. Keeping my eye on some of these large caps. They've been largely consolidative. If I can show what I'm looking at here. Consolidative for the majority of the afternoon. But ironically enough, the Fuge has been making lower highs and lower lows. Like look at the chart pattern on NVIDIA. Okay? All right, sorry, on the NQ. December contract. You're not really seeing that lower channel reflected on any of them, really, except NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been making lower highs and lower lows. So if we could kind of draw that, it's not as clean as the one on the futures, but certainly has been kind of locked within this downward channel range here, like the NQ. So pack my patience there, have a look there. CAPR still lulling me to sleep at that 12.10 area. What are you guys looking at? Adam, it's coming in for you. Here we go. Are we starting? It says beginning shortly. Nope, not yet. So we'll pack our patience there. I totally forgot to mention that you guys need to vote. The afternoon segment is nothing without the viewers. It is Neil. It is Sean. They take over at the big boy desk, and they look at the tickers as decided by you, but only the top 5 tickers make it on, Satea. So they're going to have to talk to their friends and basically bamboozle them into voting their way. If you want to see how Katina Men traded NVIDIA, throw it in there. Neil, what did you trade today? DraftKings, NVIDIA, AMD? Little AMD. You want to see how Neil traded those? You want to see what he did on Donkey Kong? And Donkey Kong's a dang rocket today. Throw DKNG in the chat. It's super simple, Satea. Exclamation point, the word join, space, $, and the ticker of your choice. Every day, Neil and Sean, they do the absolute most in covering those. And I'm very happy that I got the print at the $0.25. So I'm really happy with my trading today on CAPR. I think I really waited for my opportunities. I love trading these small cap gappers today when they're in vogue. But nary is that the case, man. They always give back the go super quick.
Damn. I don't know much about, small cap gappers. I try to stay away from them. I like the larger caps, usually $100, above $100 typically, maybe 50, if I'm feeling a little bit risky.
Hey.
But nothing lower than that. How do you get around that? Like the $, $2, like how do you know when like it's going to gap? Like what is your
Honestly, I use more support and resistance. Like this really was nothing super complicated. They kept bouncing off 12s today. So I'm like, let me get in and bounce off 12. Let me get myself to 90s. I'm going to risk 10 pennies. We've had 3-1 there because it broke into the 30s. I love these ones. I started off my life as a trader, just like you with crypto.
Okay.
I was a DJ trading the small cap gappers that were up 300% on the day. And the thing is, during COVID, there was like 10 of these a day.
Ooh.
Yes, there were. Every morning you get up at 7 a.m. There was like 3 or 4 names in 100% or over territory.
I could just see you punching keys, just like, let me get that.
I was a wild man. I had no idea what I was doing, right? I'm like, okay, I got to get this. But yeah, I really love these small cap gappers. They're exciting.
How do you identify them? Sorry for interrupting.
Scanner.
Okay.
So I have 3 rules essentially for these scanners. I'm looking for a certain amount of float, not float, volume done on the day. You're going to have to print above 500,000 shares.
Okay.
2, you got to be above 85 pennies. I used to have it as $1, but Neil told me that, having it at 85 pennies gets you to know which ones are about to reach $1. Because that dollar trade is a whole trade. You can take it as short, off, or if it clears $1, you can use $1 as support. So there's
at that even dollar, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Understood.
So I filter it out to 85 pennies, and also you've got to be on the NQ or the NY. I won't trade you if you're on the Amex for a small cap gapper. Don't ask me why, but. Too many bad experiences with that. But CAPR, man, absolutely great trade today. Guys, get into the chat. We don't have enough votes yet. Throw it up in there. 30 seconds. Oh, yes, thank you. I saw that, Katina, man. Thank you. So the Meta Connect event, almost with us, almost in time right now. So if you want to see how the big kahunas view Meta, or how they may view Meta after the Connect event, throw Meta in the chat. Neil and Sean cover these for you guys every day at around 2 o'clock. What are you looking at?
Awesome. So I was looking at the NVIDIA, and I'm really sad. I feel like it's been the narrative of the day that I just get scared and I keep getting out. And so it did what I wanted it to do. It rejected off of that 123.10, and it's going down, and it's it's consolidating a little bit, going down, making a leg down, consolidating a little bit, and then I feel like the next leg down. And you know what? I'm really sad. I could get in here, but that really wasn't my idea. My idea was to get in up here. I got a little bit too finicky, got out, and so I just need to grow a pair and just stay in the damn trade because that's what's gonna make me the money, And so, yeah, any suggestions, to stay in the trade, stay convicted, because I see these little movements, and I'm trying to engage, I'm trying to see, what the next trade is, but what would you suggest?
Honestly, it's a really good question. I'm still a bit of a paper-handed trader as well. Like I always wet my beak far earlier than I should. So I think probably me giving you advice is not a good idea here. But I think that if you have convictions behind your levels, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel like more screen time gives me a lot more experience. The Zuck, okay, here he is. Oh baby. He's got the curls.
Different.
He's got the curls, girl. He's got the gold chains. We were betting on how many gold chains he'd have on today. I like the baggy shirt. He's looking bigger, isn't he?
He's in the gym.
Yeah.
He's in the damn gym.
He's doing that MMA. He's doing that MMA. And he's got a lot of money to throw around for good coaching. So let's be real about it. Yeah. So Zuck, he's on the stage right now. He is the keynote, guys. He's talking about future of computing. All right, so live captions, I'm putting that on so that, Ram, are we able to do that nice trick where you put, it's not, okay, fine. Ram sometimes puts in the captions on the screen, she'll screen capture that. Okay, so Meta Quest, there's a new Meta Quest that's being launched right now. He took it off the screen, Meta Quest 3S, okay? Oh, it's got eye ports this time, but it still has those joysticks, Sateo, where we know that the Apple Vision Pro uses your hands based on, you don't actually need those joysticks. What's going on over there, Katina? We need the play-by-play. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, it's only $300? That's ridiculous, bro. The course is cheap. That's ridiculous. It's $3,500. Okay, so $350. I didn't actually get to see that. I didn't actually get to hear that. $299, Katina, man. US, obviously Canada gets shafted. Because it's always higher here. To the multiplied by 2, Katina, man. It ain't, Katina, man. They take advantage of us. Go and vote, yes. Exactly. I'm having a good time on the show today. All right, so we're basically showing you mixed reality. We already knew these glasses they already have augmented reality. Hand tracking, okay, so it does have hand tracking, touch plus controllers. Don't know why it's using controllers if there's hand tracking. Thousands of apps, which obviously it has ahead of Apple's Vision Pro, which still has a bit of a weak app library. We'll keep you guys updated on that and everything that is happening with the Meta Connect event. As I show you though, Chilean Nightmare, that Meta has not really reacted yet. We're obviously below VWAP. We've been selling off, but there's been no flash reaction right now to META. Hold on tight, because that could change if the Zuck train wants to kind of throw us a curveball here. Mark Zuckerberg on the stage, delivering the keynote right now, introducing the new Meta Quest 3 with a price of $299 today.
Yeah, so I feel like we predicted, a pretty decent flush off of that VWAP from, what was this, 1 p.m. So yeah, we kind of, had an idea that the direction might be validified, during that time. And so we're seeing a little bit of a flush. Like Sharif said, anything can change. Whatever Zuck is saying, maybe he has big innovation coming in soon to tell us. But as of right now, I don't know. The market is not really liking what he's saying. I'm not sure, but it's flushing a little bit. And yeah, let's just see what else it does. What about you, Sharif?
Nothing, just listening to the Zuck drop hot lines about how his product apparently is better than Apple's. Calm down, bro. But yeah, look, there's multiple versions of it, starting at $299, going up to $500. There's the Quest S, and then there's the Quest 3. There's different size, one's 256, one's 512. Okay, so now they're showing the multi-use aspect of it. Multitasking, says the Katina man, because I couldn't hear because I was talking, but keep feeding me that stuff, because if you can hear it, I can't, right? So look, he's got Spotify on one side, he's watching a movie. I don't know why you're doing that, but what is that? What is that?
Prime Video in the morning, like a chat group.
Prime Video there, like a chat group, says the Katina man. So it's looking awfully like, and this is a live demo he's doing, by the way, or somebody's doing it. He's gonna have them on. Someone in the back or something like that has got a live demo. I want to hear if they have eye tracking, because we know that, what's it called? Apple Vision Pro uses eye tracking. So we're going to keep tabs on that. What happened, Ram? Tell me in my ear, because, or tell the Chilean Nightmare to tell me. What else is happening here? Yeah, just keeping an eye on Meta, obviously. This is the event. Okay, so it's some dude in the front row. Eh? They had a tech snafu. Oh no, we've never seen that, like glass breaking on a Cybertruck or anything like that. That's normal. That's normal. We're gonna have these little snafus, but Zuck, yeah, great for watching Netflix. Fantastic. I've seen a lot of these YouTube videos about people completely spacing out on packed airplanes, putting on their Vision Pro, putting on their Quest, and being like,
that's allowed?
Yeah.
But why can't you have your phone on and then you could have the goggles on?
You gotta wait until you take off, or put it in airplane mode.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and apparently the Chilean Nightmare is saying they don't really care about airplane mode anymore. I don't know if that's...
Oh, I guess I haven't been on a plane
for
a very long time.
No, but seriously though, like imagine being on that packed flight where you hate everybody,
yeah,
right? And then wanting to zone out. I mean, I know it's not a big use case, but for those who fly a lot, it's not bad, right?
Yeah, so, just locked in and you just forget, the person beside you. That's awesome. That's great.
What does his shirt say, says Mary S. Lyman? I don't know. We're going to have to zoom in.
I think it's a Kanye one.
It says Zuck, bro. It literally says Zuck on the right side of his shirt, left side if you're standing on his side. Interesting. Okay, so he's just still showing off some of the features there, guys. Fix the tech. He did fix the tech. Okay, so they're good to go. Oh, now he's got his laptop in front of him. We've been seeing a lot about that multi-screening using your laptop. Oh, and he just did that. Wow, that's pretty cool. Apple can do that too, but that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. For a lot cheaper, you can do it on. So basically, you can have virtual displays. You can use your laptop, and then all of a sudden, you can display virtually your laptop screen. That's pretty cool. I think that that's really cool. And I think that is going to be in what the thing is, though, form factor. Does the form factor bother you? That you have to have a shoe stuck to your face?
I feel like that would make me a little bit like uncomfortable, to be honest. Like, I don't know. And sometimes I used to do like VR and stuff and it would give me a headache. So I feel like I wouldn't be the right market, for something like this. But
I agree.
It looks cool. It looks amazing. And like, imagine seeing us right in front of your face, like Trader TV Live, or right, Sharif's in front of your face, Sean, Neil, just right there. You could like pretend to touch us, like.
No, but seriously though, wouldn't the
close
form factor be a lot better if they were glasses like that?
Absolutely.
But like they don't have to have the spacing. Like you can cover, like people who have glaucoma, they have those thicker glasses that block out the light from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could take that form factor so you can kind of be immersed, but not have a shoe pasted to your face.
Yeah, it's just it's a little bit much, to be honest. It needs to be a little bit more discreet. I feel like it would sell a lot more.
I agree. 100% agree with that. He's still showing off some of the games right now. That's the virtual world. This I'm not sold on, okay? I don't need to be in a virtual conversation with you. I can just talk to you on FaceTime, okay? I don't want virtual real estate. I'm not interested in it. He seems to think it's the future. He's a lot smarter than me. And he's a lot more money. So clearly he may know something I don't know, but I'm just not a fan. I don't need to be buying virtual real estate and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe
for the kids,
Clearly,
the kids love it.
They do, and I know that they do that kind of stuff in Roblox as well. You know what I mean? I get that.
Roblox stock, I feel like, would jet up after this type thing.
Well, just they're jetting up based on how much a Katina man spends there per month. He gives out allowances. You got allowances, right? How much they can spend per month on Roblox? Yeah. Is it? He gave me the look, which means there isn't an allowance. This will be in my house very soon. This will be in his house very soon. No, the reason I was asking Katina man is because my sister gives them max, right? So like the $13.99. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I was just about to say. So shout out to the Katina man. I know, guys, we haven't been taking a lot of trades right now. The market's been awfully flat. Google, though, let's put some respect on Google's name, Fabian, because it's retracing off the lows 161.34. It is on its way back. It looks like here to 162. The volume weighted average price, a skosh above that, 162.10. The Cybertruck as well, Tesla, curling nicely off the volume weighted average price, knocking on the door of 256. HOD, essentially that 257 minus 9 cents. So Tesla, definitely not at highs, but certainly working its way back up. Meta continues to stay below the volume weighted average price. Look at this. Okay, Amazon waking up. Amazon as well, curling back into the volume weighted average price after printing lows at 192. Nvidia, says the Katina man, he's long there. He's long 123. It's moving back up. Excuse me, I think he's actually a little bit shorter than that. But there it is, curling right back up, knocking the door of that $0.50. VWAP is at that $0.00 area. So good look for that. Let's flip to some of these small cap gappers, see what's afoot. Really, the only one that's running right now is CAPR. It's at highs and it's not really breaking through that 12.25. And Donkey Kong, DKNG, Just Dance. What is this, bro? I don't want anything to do with that. This is cool. Okay, so now you can like virtually box and stuff. This is sick. That's called Deep Saber, Fabian? That's already available. The Katina man says that's already available and his kids already have that. But I think that's really cool because like you can actually be physically active there. Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Yeah, you working out. Absolutely. So more stuff still coming in for Meta. Again, the Quest 3S, $299 starting price. The bigger one, the Meta Quest 3 is $499 starting price. That's US dollars, obviously. He said AI. Okay, so now we've heard the word. Here comes the AI. All right, now this is what people want to hear. We want to hear about the artificial intelligence. And here he goes. Now he's starting to talk about it there. Anything you're looking at while we listen to the Zuck train over
Yeah,
there?
for sure. So I was just looking at some tickers that I had I looked at in the morning. And so I was looking at NEO. And so NEO is looking that it's breaking through this 580 and it's breaking through this high. So I really like that. I don't know exactly, how much. So actually, let's look at this. So usually I have like a chart here that I look at the average volume, the ATR. So with NEO, it typically moves 35 cents. So today, where did it go? Today, okay, let's go back. Oh yeah, NEO's right here. So usually moves 35 cents. So it's at this 556. So yeah, I would say we're at this high. So I don't even think that it's going to break, to be honest. But I thought it was really interesting that it was at this day's high. To go forward, to trek up, I don't know. In terms of a day trade, doesn't look too great there. It may reject. But I just thought it would be interesting to look at that. But Meta is really what we're looking at. And Meta, like, listen. Meta, I thought that with everything that Zuck is coming up with, that people would be pretty bullish on this. But as of right now, I feel like people aren't on the train yet. And so we're just going down. We're at 568.43. And I feel like we can retrace down probably to this 565.19. Unless, Zuck has something great to say. Capper, long again, long a Meta. I mean, if you want to get in early, possibly, but as of right now, as a day trader and the parameters that we have getting flat, at the end of the day, it doesn't look too great in terms of the long as of right now. But, it is what it is. You're going to do what you're going to do. So NVIDIA up. Let's switch to NVIDIA.
Okay. The Katina man is long Meta. What are you looking at, Stan? I don't want to interrupt your... Oh, wow. What the hell did Meta do there?
Yeah.
He's long 569 at this level. Meta, big move up. Sorry to interrupt you, Satya, but Meta just did a big boy move.
Oh.
From that, I think we had some support at 568, rocketed up into 570 and a fifth. It's getting real active right now, though, as he's starting to talk about the... What happened to my screen? Oh... It's on, I have to show it on all desktops. Sorry about that, guys. For a second, just keeping my my Meta Connect video up on all screens over here. He's talking about AI. Now we're talking about the AI voice. So we already heard about this. They have contracted with certain celebrities to be able to, kind of use their voice. Remember the debacle we had with ChatGPT and Scarlett Johansson? Meta learning from that, actually getting the contracts for these before, annoying them and causing all sorts of problems. So it looks as if right now he's doing a demo with Llama. It looks like he is using Llama. Is he using Llama? He's talking to it right now and he's getting the voices. Technical issues, okay, potentially embarrassing, okay, good. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do live demos. That's just the way it goes. So he's trying to use it right now. It looks like he did get... No.
He's asking it if live demos can go bad.
Oh, he asked it if live demos could go bad. I'm mistaken there. So looks like it's working well. So he's using now Aquafina, an individual's voice. I think she's a celebrity. They're using her voice right now to kind of make the point there about this new deal that they got. So shout out to Zuck. But guys, there's stuff moving in these here markets, man. Tesla's on the way up, and now it took 256 on a closing basis. Google is continuing to move up into the volume weighted average price, and Softy has also been putting umpteen amount of higher lows. Softy did bamboozle me. It is my only negative stock on the day. But, ex post facto, looking at this after the fact, look at the umpteen amount of higher low situation looking to curl back up right now. Good look. Now he's got somebody else with him on stage doing a demo. I think this individual might be a creator because they're talking about creators. Don Allen Stevenson III, he's a creator and an author, says his title there. So we're going to keep an eye on what he's saying and what the market reaction to that is. Satya.
Yeah, so when I was looking at Meta, my screen must have been stuck because I was looking at it and it was around this 568.17. So I was looking at short, but damn, it is looking nice. And so if we can hold above, this 569.48, I would be really interested. But I'm thinking of posting because I want to make sure that this is really decisive. Like, if we're going to go up, we're going to stay up. So I would say 570.18 is probably where I'm going to post my post order and hopefully go for that long. But we'll see. I want to see more volume in there. I'm also going to look at the book and see what the book is looking like. So... the spread is pretty crazy, though. It's around like 50 cents, so I don't know about that. I wish that there was kind of like a derivative of Meta. I'm not aware of one. Do you?
I'm pretty sure there is.
There is?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We can do a quick Google search there. Looks
Okay.
like TSLL.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? I'm pretty sure
like
there
those
is.
derivatives, you know, because I don't want to risk too much on it, you know, with that, especially with that spread, that is a little ugly, a little bit too much risk for me. So yeah, I would definitely want to look at that derivative. But Tesla is looking nice. We are bouncing off that 567.38. And I really hope that we break through this 570 because I feel like with more momentum and with the stream still going on, Zuck talking, I feel like we could definitely approach these highs at 572.80s there.
All right, chat. I'm gonna ask your assistance, guys. If you guys know of a meta derivative, tag Satya or I in the chat. You know, I just did a quick cursory look, but I don't want to waste time on the show, obviously, talking about that. So if you do know one, please tag Satya or I in the chat. Let us know which meta derivative you guys. METU, someone's saying there. Freddie, the friendly guy. Let's see if that's a troll or if it's real. No, direct daily bull. There you go, Satya, 33 bucks. Not a lot of volume. Doesn't do a whole lot of volume, 137,000 shares, but it's METU, direct daily meta bull, 2 times. Shout out to Freddie, the friendly guy. Thank you for that, Freddie.
Buddy.
Guys, Donald John Trump is on the move, Katina, man. Not the individual, but... He's the stock is on the move, Katina, man. It's having a whole lot of trouble with $14 right now. It did weasel its way up off the double bottom there at 13.5. It's up a decent amount, 9.15%. Obviously, the holdout period or the lockout period, excuse me, expired as this one maintained its price above 12, so it did have that earlier expiration. It's having trouble with 14 right now. If this one clears 14, I could certainly be interested. I'm interested at the moment right now because it is making its way onto the side chart for me over here. We're going to keep tabs on this one. Not very respectful of the volume weighted average price. Clears it, then you know, just drops below it. We're going to give this one the old community college try at 14. Where are we long? We're long 14.02 not the best price I'd like, but I'm going to give this one a lot of room, probably down into the volume weighted average price at 13.80. I didn't take big size. I'm just going to do this to get involved and have a merry old time here on the show because we got a special guest today. So I'm going to be looking to add at 13.90 and I'm going to defend into 13.80 because that's where VWAP is.
Okay.
And we're going to trade Donald John Trump. Maybe something happens over here and we move up again. He so jokes. He tweeted today. He's like, I'm surrounded by more guns and men than I've ever seen in my entire life. I guess he's got new protection. Congress gave him new protection after he almost... well, we know what happened a few weeks ago. Yeah. So that was the look there. Long 14.02. Resistance, from what I see, the last attempt there, 14.18, 14.90, something like that. I'm going to look to wet my beak around that or front run that for a profit taker. We're going to hang out here at 15s and come what may. What are you looking at? Satya,
oh, me? Oh, sorry.
No,
you said A, so I'm just like, who's A? Oh, he probably meant Adara. So I am looking at this meta. Oh my gosh. I was just about to put in my entry point here at 570. It's kind of blasting through there, but I'm still going to take a try. 569.73. So I'm just going to do that. And so, you know what? Because I was looking at the derivative, and the derivative isn't moving too much, to be honest. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a try. So I'm going to put my stop here at $1 a little bit much. I'm just going to do 569. And if it breaks down there, then I'm going to get out. But 569 to 568.95, that's where I'm going to put my stop here. And we're going to hope for the bust there. But I'm thinking that it looks pretty good. And so it's going up. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. You know? And so, you know what? I'm going to take some cash because...
There you go.
You know, a little scalp, a little scalp.
I like
That's all we need. And so, yeah, shout out to Meta. Thank you for that money. I love it. Yes. So thank you. And what are you looking at?
I'm looking, well, right now I'm involved in DJT. I'm also looking at Donkey Kong, DKNG. Unreal. It's up 7% today. Knocking on the door, 42 Katina Man and Satea. And like, let me tell you, when this one dipped down into the 10 exponential, I was really close to buying it at 41.75. Now shows you how, I did that one. I could have done a little bit better there. 41.95 now, 97s now. DKNG knocking on the door, 42, baby. Donkey Kong having itself one hell of a day today. DJT having all sorts of resistance at 14. I'm still planning my dollar cost average at 13.90. Wow, that was a big move up into 8s. Okay, so let's see if we can wet our beak. We're waiting in mid-teens here on Donald John Trump. I'd like a print in and around there. Reason I'm taking it out there is to front run this area resistance level over here. Right there. So I'm assuming maybe we get some resistance in and around there. If that's the case, I'd like to de-risk, lock in some profits, and then see what we can do there. I'm still keeping an eye. Oh, there's a big seller here at 14.10 on DJT as we work up into 9s. I'm still keeping an eye on the MetaConnect event. Watching to see if anything new is coming out. All right, here we're at 10s. We take out that seller. That seller at 10s just got decimated. 11s are showing up now on the ask. Spread opening up to 2 pennies. All right, now it's tightening up. Let's see if we can continue ascend. I'm going to submit to you. There's a hidden seller at, oh, come on. Give me the print, bruh. Give me the print, bruh. Bruh, give me the print, bruh. Well, it hasn't crossed 15s. A bit of a seller at 15. I'm waiting at 15s here on DJT. I'm just too stubborn to take it out. Before that, I'm going to wait and look for another attempt, hoping it doesn't flush on me and making me feel stupid. 15s again showing up here on the ask. 12s on the bid. Spread 3 pennies. Not sure 2 pennies now. Still haven't printed. So there's a seller certainly of note at 15. Haven't been able to ascend above 15 right now on DJT. Meta, the Katina Man is yelling about Meta. Nice move into 571, Katina Man. Are you in that too, Satea?
No, I got out of Meta. I see these hands are not diamond hands. Like, they need to be diamond hands because it looks like a long and it's going to continue forward. I definitely believe that. But as of right now, I just need to have conviction, and so that's what I'm working on. But shout out to Sean. He's probably holding that right now. He's great. He's awesome. So I really need to get better at that, to be honest, because I would love to print, but you know what? It is what it is. What about you?
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
what about it? Is it the size that you're uncomfortable with? Is it the price action because it's a monster, is moving dollars at a time?
Yeah.
What's the sitch?
Usually, because like the spread is like something that I'm concerned about. Usually, I like
Fair.
a spread between like 2 and 5 cents typically on average. So, a 20 to 30% spread is like a little bit much for me.
I feel
and
that.
Usually I'm like in and out, like in a scalp, like when I'm trading at my own desk, I'm just in and out, in and out, in and out. And so I find that like, being on the show, I turn my head for a little bit and I turn back and I don't want anything that I wasn't expecting to happen.
I feel
so
that.
I just want to make sure that, I'm keeping my wrist tight. And so that's why I feel like I'm getting out a little bit early. But hopefully as I progress on the show, I will be holding on those winners for a long period of time, a longer period of time, more than a couple of seconds. But, that's just, I'm just a little bit scared, but we're going to work on that.
I want to echo your sentiment because we call Meta, we call it spreader.
Spreader, yeah. It's a big spreader.
Yeah.
Dara says that a lot.
Dara
Yeah,
always saying spreader, right? And there's a reason, because it's awfully expensive. And even when it was like $300, guys, this thing was always kind of spready. It's part of its modus operandi. So that's the look there. Meta AI glasses are like your own assistant, says the Chilean Nightmare or Ram. Thank you guys for keeping me up to date about what's being said, because it's hard to talk and hear Zuck at the same time. But I got to tell you, man, I'm really excited to see like how these are being reviewed online. Like someone like MKHD, Marquise Brownlee, likely going to get his own in the mail, and he's probably going to drop a review on that super quick. So I want to see what the big boy objective reviewers say about this, but so far so dang good, man. I mean, how can you argue with that price point? Apple's like, what is that? It's $3,500, one's $500. You do the math. All right, I wet my beak at 14s here on Donald John Trump. There's a seller of note at 15s, and it's not being reflected on the book because the size here on the book at 15s is not enough to prevent this from ascending. So I'm going to submit to you there's an iceberg order or a hidden, well, same thing, a hidden seller at 15s. Funny, I mean, I just put 15 there to front run the size. I didn't anticipate there to be a seller. Meta's on the way up, says the Katina man, and it's been knocking the door of 571 for a hot minute. So the market likes what they hear so far from Meta because we haven't sold the news. Not yet anyway. Maybe we sell the news later, but it certainly hasn't come in yet. Outfit. I know you like the outfit, Fabian. Meta AI glasses has live translation. It gives you outfit ideas. That's brilliant. Okay, I think that that's a real selling feature. That's as long as it's good though. Like imagine like it doesn't have any style.
No,
you know what I mean?
like yeah, green top, yellow bottom. Like no, it needs to match. It needs to coordinate. But the fashion girlies are gonna love that. They're gonna be spending their money.
Fabian's like, imagine it roasts you. You try on an outfit and it's like, yo, what are you wearing, bro?
Yeah, what is that?
Take that off.
What is that?
Take that off. All right, so we have an individual.
Live example.
Okay, here we go. Now we've got a live example. This Spanish UFC fighter right now with glasses. Zuck's got glasses on. They both look weird, but that's all good there. And now essentially one person speaking in one language, the other person listening and speaking in another, and you're getting live translation. This is brilliant. This is really good, and this has real world applications. Yeah, and he's responding to him back in Spanish, man. This is fantastic. Chile, is that you, Ram Ram, or is that the Chilean Nightmare? I need to know who's doing it. It's Ram Ram, it is. I knew it.
Who's Chilean Nightmare?
Hey?
Who's Chilean?
Okay, so Fabian is a Chilean Nightmare.
Oh, okay,
right?
gotcha.
Well, because you tell it, he's from Chile.
Okay, awesome.
It would be weird if he wasn't,
I was
right?
always wondering. I hear you guys in the back saying Chilean Nightmare, and I'm
well,
like,
because
who
you
is
should
that?
fear him. He's a nightmare, right? Like, he must be feared. Right there he is. Shout out to Fabian.
Fabian.
I love it. He's got the shades on today. He's looking very suave.
How's it going, stream?
I can't hear you.
I know, but the stream can.
You're not pressing it right.
The stream
there
can
you
hear me.
The
But you
stream
can't.
can hear. Oh, got it. I love that. I love that. They have their own mic now, their own camera, because we always engage with them, right?
Yes.
So like, yo, why don't you guys have your own cameras so you can go riff back and forth with us?
They definitely should.
They did it. Shout out to Ram Ram. Zoom the camera in right on Ram Ram to annoy her. Okay. Donald John Trump's coming back into my entry here, Satea. So $14 coming in. I'm long 14.02. It's going to have to hold 14. Otherwise, I want no smoke. I took some out at 14s. This ain't the plan. If it breaks 13.95, I'm gonzino. It's showing 99s now. Let's see if 14 acts as a level of support. It certainly has initially acted as resistance or thereabouts. So if we bounce off 14 here, I want the smoke. If we don't hold 14, I want nothing to do with it. Back up we go here on Donald John Trump. Looking at some of these Mag 7 names, guys, there ain't a whole lot to be positive about. Apple on the way down, Amazon on the way down, Tesla on the way down. Even NVIDIA still really not making those higher highs. So it's been more of a negative afternoon on these markets, but that's okay. You can make money both ways here, baby. Keeping my eye on Google. I was waiting for a 162.10-ish retracement on Google, which is the volume weighted average price. Doesn't look like it wants to make its way up there. It's already topping tailed a little bit there. So we may not have a trade there. Let's flip to some small cap gappers, bring it in the side screen and see what's what. Meaningless tautology aside, CAPR, certainly a roof there, or a shelf, I should say, at 12.25, despite the wicks. So much selling at that $0.25 on CAPR. Donald John Trump getting a bit of a double top here. That's my concern at that 14 and a fifth, you know, a little bit, maybe mid-teens. But if we do hold 14, I'll hold on to this for a possible top break. We'll have to see if that manifests. FAAS. I was scolded by one of the traders in the back for mentioning this yesterday. He's like, you yelled out FAAS, I got in, and then I got out, stopped out. I'm like, bro, I did well on it. I mean, I didn't tell you to go in. I didn't tell you to go in at the level that you got in out after. Anyway, FAAS, day 2 continuation, started moving yesterday at around noon. This was a midday mover here, FAAS. good move today, definitely higher highs, but been very kind of consolidated the majority of the day, hanging out above $2 for the most part though, hugging the volume weighted average price. Nothing for me to do on FAAS, guys. What are you guys watching? Right now, I'm still keeping my eye on this Meta Connect event. They're introducing, guys, the new Ray-Bans. Okay, so my friend has a new pair to wear to the club and make everybody cringe out and make me feel.
These look cool. They seem like more discreet. Hopefully, it doesn't have that light on there.
It's gonna have it because they want people to know you're recording them. They do it on purpose.
Okay,
you know,
fair.
Yeah, so you know.
But it looks pretty cool. I would get those. My birthday is next week, so mom, you better buy me those glasses, and then hopefully I'll put them on for you guys.
What does this mean to you over here? You just told me your birthday. What is this?
Libra. Yes.
Libra scale. Air
Libra
sign gang,
season.
baby. Air sign gang. Love it. Yeah. Ram. Nobody's talking to you. Right. Love Ram. Just kidding. Yeah, no, seriously, though. What was it? Yeah. I told him, I'm like, Doug, why couldn't you put like a piece of like plaster or something, hide the light, man. Like I did, Satea. He didn't listen. I know.
Tell him I told him.
I will.
Stop
I'm gonna
scaring
actually
the girls.
extract this video and send it to him and be like, there you go.
Yes.
You got it from somebody else. We're still keeping an eye here on the Meta Connect event, guys. Lots of stuff to talk about. They're talking about Elixir Luxottica, who they're actually doing this the Ray-Ban glasses with. So we're keeping an eye on that. Mido CR7 says you is selling off hard. Unity Software apparently selling off. Oh, you're not wrong there, my friend. Look at that big boy drop on Unity. Not really sure what's going on. Nothing coming in my blotter yet. Just someone saying watching Unity Software. Benzinga reporting watching Unity Software shares seeing sharp spike in volume to the downside, and there it is. You're absolutely accurate there. The closing print from yesterday on Unity Software. It could be. I mean, I have no idea. I don't even know what Unity Software does from the hardware perspective. Growing a real-time 3D content experience. Oh, you're all right. Yeah, AI, augmented reality. Okay, so I see. Yeah. So this is a competitor here to Meta. So this is Unity Software. Let me just put in the ticker U. So they're quick, but that's a big drop there with 22.20. Now it's trading at 21.20. So nice move down. Good call out by you. Nothing by you on you. You get that? All right. What are these glasses, Katina, man? These ones look thicker. These are bifocals? I'm not listening to you anymore, Fabian.
He lied.
These are big, thick glasses, though. These are a little unusual, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Like, are these the new Meta glasses, guys? Yeah. These are the new ones. Okay, so they look a little bit bigger than the other ones, very thick. And so I'm assuming that there's got to be some new stuff in them because my buddies are not that big. Interesting stuff there. What are you looking at? Anything catching your attention?
Yeah, so I was looking at Neo. So
augmented reality.
Yeah, so like an hour ago, I was saying that we might form this top here around 581. It did blast through it, by 3 cents, but it is coming down. And so I would say if I'm, initiating a short, I would say risking off this 584 and then getting in around 580. I could see it retracing down to VWAP. Definitely, how long that may take, I'm not too sure, but it looks pretty bearish as of right now. But then we also have this uptrend here. But for right now, because it is like near that ATR high, I'm thinking that it's still pretty bearish. So I'm thinking pretty bearish on Neo. Yeah, it is rejecting off this 579. And if we could break through this 576, then I could think, again, tracing down to this VWAP around 567. Anything that you're looking at?
Yeah, so these are augmented reality glasses.
Okay.
So they actually superimpose images, but they're kind of like, they're thicker than your glasses, obviously, but they're not the big shoe on your face.
Yeah, and you were talking about that.
So that is cool. Apparently, Mary S. Lyman saying that's a prototype. Shout out to Adam. I didn't know that Adam's birthday was on Saturday. All right, just a heads up. Just a heads up, Adam. Shout out to you, my man. Can't wait to see you IRL. Obviously, we'll know that his birthday now is on Saturday. So shout out to the other Libra gang member, Adam DeLuce, baby. One of the best in the chat there. Yeah, guys, he is talking about the augmented reality glasses. This is kind of what we were talking about, Satya and I, before he actually introduced them. Apparently, they're a prototype. Sharif, real glasses with AI integrated. Shout out to Mary Eslam. She's keeping me updated about what's being said. Thank you, Mary, for that. These are cool. This gets my attention. These are regular form factor glasses that we see people wearing every day. They're just a bit thicker. That's fine. This is huge, bro. This is, oh, the Katina Man. I thought you were talking about the glass. Yeah, well, there you go. I think the market's liking this Katina Man. Absolutely, because I'm liking it as well. 571 just broke on Meta. Okay, this is really going here. So the market is really digging this, and so am I. Quite frankly, I'm digging this too, man. Let's load up Meta over here. Where the hell is my Meta screen? There it is. All right, so let's get ready here. We might take some trades on this if it becomes parabolic. Let's see if this one gets going here. 571 having issues with that. Should we look for a dip trade? Possibly to get bottom wick, maybe off 60s. You did? Eye tracking. Eye tracking, like that, because we know that Apple was doing that. Actually, when Zuck reviewed the Vision Pro, he actually commented positively about the eye tracking and said that that is something they had been looking at. Unsurprised there. There goes Meta, baby. Big moves up here, Katina Man. The market digging whatever the Zuck train is selling right now because we're moving up big. Big volume spike coming in. Still 572 does remain an elusive target. I would submit to you that we've been rejected a few times today off 572, but that looks like it's going to be a distant past. 572 seller, guys, hidden seller it looks like, and there they go. Jeez. This is big stuff right now on Meta, guys. Big moves. $4 in the money. Katina Man says we're going to take it with you here. Hopefully we won't get rinsed up here. We're going to wait at 69s because what's life without whimsy? We're going to put it up there. Hope we print on this. And there is the print. We're moving up, baby. We're long 42s. Let's see if we can get $1 and join the Katina Man on that. And there it is, Katina Man. We get the $1 with you on that. Very exciting today, man. Very exciting. Very happy that got in today. What? What happened? Jensen? Where's Jensen? Oh, I didn't even see. Sorry, I was trading. I'm sorry.
Jensen is loving them.
I don't even see. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen. I don't even see Jensen. I'm waiting. I see a whole bunch of people other than Jensen. A guy, oh, there he is in his black jacket. Welcome, Jensen, welcome. Jensen always. What an OG.
I don't know who that is.
Jensen?
No.
The CEO of NVIDIA. He's a founder.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you know who that is.
How he watches TraderTv live on them.
He does. Oh, I love it. Jensen is talking about how he watches the show on the augmented reality glasses. That's fine. Trader TV Live. Absolutely. We would love to have Jensen on. I know I would. So shout out to the OG Jensen. What a day today, guys. What a day. It has been a good one for you today. We got your girl Satya. $6 in the dang money, Katina Man. Can we spend the money, please? Yes, well, we're going to do that right there. There he is. There's OG Katina, Valeria, the Brendo, all being spun around there. Do it, Jensen. Do it, says Willie. All right. Monty, the bruh. Andrew says, whoop. Apple Fritter says, let's go. Hog Rider, Jensen, cameo on Meta NVIDIA to the moon. Yes, NVIDIA didn't moon, but certainly Meta did. What a day it has been. Satya joining us today. She's going to be back with us on Friday. Can't wait to have her back on. Awesome. We're going to have Joe tomorrow with another options lesson, so pumped for that. Make sure all my options traders out there, you want to get some hot lines, join us tomorrow on the show. Joe's going to have those hotlines ready for you, and you're going to have a lesson ready for us on Friday as well.
Yes, on Friday, yes.
That gives me 2 days. I don't get to do the lessons.
Yes, you're good.
It's awesome to be me for the moment. We're having a good time over here, guys. We're having a good time. Any final thoughts? We've got about 3 minutes left.
Meta, I am so sad that I left you because I knew that it was going to hold VWAP. I knew. But I'm going to work on these diamond hands. On Friday, I'm going to work on holding it to the moon, and that's all I have to say. I'm going to have a lesson on Friday for you guys regarding trading resources, and so yeah, definitely, I'll see you guys soon.
We're pumped about that. We got a few minutes left. We're going to throw it over to the big kahunas. And then, I'm going to weasel up to the green screen, gesticulate wildly, as Adair likes to say. I don't even know what that means, but it's all good there. Anyway, guys, I want to mention that there's a couple of trades here that we didn't really talk about. And one is Amazon and the volume weighted average price. Not sexy, it's not exciting, but it is predictable. Amazon has been weak today. Don't know why, and I don't care. Pardon me? $2 super chat from the OG Willis Addison. Notice how NVIDIA is stalling out while Meta pumps. Yes, sir, made note of that. Thank you, Willis Addison. Absolutely an accurate observation there. Meta doing Meta things. Is this all-time highs? I believe it is. Let me just flip to the daily here, Katina, man. Yes, it is. It goes without saying. This day over here was a sell the news kind of event. Where do we get to? South of where we are now. All-time highs on META, $575.35. I'm willing to bet that probably gets taken out by the end of the day. The market really liking what Meta is selling at the moment. And we haven't even had the opportunity for the big money purchasers of these sovereign wealth funds, the hedge funds, the pension funds to digest this, go through the buying committees and actually start punching long into Meta. That is going to happen over the next week or two as these buying committees make their decisions. So what we're seeing right now is a flash reaction, and I'm willing to think that, or at least I personally think that we probably run up into 600 maybe by the end of the year on META. What a show it's been. Yeah, well, by giving myself the leeway, probably by the end of the week. Right. But generally, I'm just giving myself a little room. Katina, man, cut me some slack, man. 600 by end of year. End of week, says the Katina man. He says end of week, we're going to be by 600 on META, 575. And to be honest with you, the way it's been moving, can we really, say that that's beyond the realm of possibility? Probably not, because it's moved up pretty aggressively the last few weeks.
Yeah, it has.
All right, guys, it is almost time to send you over to the big kahunas. It's been a blast hanging out with Satya and I. She's going to be back on Friday again. So all my Satya fans there, make sure to, join us tomorrow as well, but join us Friday. We'll have Joe in tomorrow with the options lesson. But for Satya and I, we're going to send you off. Any final thoughts you want to drop?
See you on Friday, and give Joe a warm welcome for tomorrow, because he's great. He's awesome. Peace, guys.
Take care, guys.